Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna let a few people come in the room, and I'll go ahead and get into the discussion. I'll flip the screen and get into the discussion, and probably kind of walk around a little bit. Yeah. So, like I said, just let a couple people come in the room. If not, I'll still go ahead and do the live, and then probably end it and make a video. But we're talking about. I don't know if you saw the topic, but a lady messaged me and asked me if I could update you on the woman here in Ghana that was unalived by her fiance 3 days ago. And I do have an update. So just give me a minute. So, like I said, a few people can come in, and I'm trying to see if a moderator will come in. Oh, TT, thank you. I do have a moderator in the room. I want to thank you for being here. I'm trying to let a few people come in the room. Okay, it's 12:06. Probably about 12:10, I'll go ahead and start. Give me a minute to get this. And I'm still trying to get my thoughts together about it because after I read the news article, it really did. The whole situation disturbed me. But let me leave the screen. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. So again, that's 12. It's 12:07 in the afternoon here in Ghana. At 12:10, I'm going to go ahead and get into this video. Give you an update on the lady that was unalived 3 days ago by her fiance. Oh shoot! Now I need a battery. Hold on, let me connect my charger. Mind you, be patient with me because TikTok's fonts are so small that I can barely see the writing. It ain't like YouTube where I can slide the screen and make the words bigger. So if I mispronounce your name or can't read a comment, I apologize. Hopefully, my moderator can answer your question. So we have 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can get a few more people here. Good morning, Monshale. Good morning, TT. Good morning, Bonnie. Michaela, good morning, everyone in here that I can see. Well, I can only see the people that I named. I see 21 people are here, 4 likes, but I don't see everybody. I don't see 21 people. I only see the people that greeted the room. Hello, Tiffany. Good morning, Push Through Journey. Thank you. Thank you for that. Inshallah. Inshallah. So if you can like and share the live, I would appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. Again, welcome. Thanks for coming and welcome. So a lady asked me when I woke up this morning. I had a comment, and a lady asked me if I wouldn't mind giving an update on the lady that was unalived in Cape Coast, Ghana. Now, I really went into shock. I was on YouTube Live last night, and a lady asked me, had I heard about it? I had heard nothing about it. My husband had heard nothing about it. And the landlord's son was here, and he had heard nothing about it. So that was shocking news to me. And then three or four other people knew about it. And I'm thinking, these people in the US, how do they know this information? And we don't know nothing about it. So I did, it really did freak me out. I got off, it did to the point where I made sure all my windows was locked, clicked, made sure they clicked and they was locked, everything, because it just kind of, I felt some type of way because you don't hear about these things in Ghana. You just don't hear that stuff in Ghana at all. So I got up this morning and the lady asked me if I could give an update. So I did Google it. I started contacting some of my sisters. They were sending me links. I did see the video where the two men were they were handcuffed to each other getting arrested. Now, I'm only going to tell you the story that I read on the news. I wasn't there. I don't know the lady and I don't know the people. But there, for the people that's saying, ha ha, I wish she was in America now. Ha ha, that's what y'all get for marrying these younger men. And, y'all want us to go over there and meet y'all's ancestors. People going to always say something negative and stupid. But this morning, what I did is I just ignored them, and I literally would read a few words of people's comments and just deleted them and blocked them because I'm just not going to have patience for that anymore. Like I said, I'm learning. So the story is this: she was 80 years old, and I'm not judging her at all. She was 80 years old according to the news article. He was 30. He's not from Ghana. He's from Togo. According to the news, he's from Togo, which is the next country over. It's not far from here. It's like a 15-minute plane ride from here. Um, they were getting married 2 days later. They don't know if she broke up the marriage or I don't know what happened, but he asked if he could drive. She has two brand new cars. They look brand new to me. They're like I don't know cars that well, but they have these little SUVs that kind of look like a car, a van, and an SUV. It's kind of those little SUV type cars. She had what looked like two of those. So apparently, he asked her if he could drive her car, and she told him no. For whatever reason, she said no, that he couldn't drive. He got angry with her. Now, I don't know if the friend was there with him. It said that he went and got the friend. And then another news article made it sound like the friend was already there. So I'm gonna go with the fact that he went and got the friend. She tells him no, he can't drive the car. He gets angry. He goes to the friend, I'm assuming, and tell the friend, let's go kill her and bury her. They go to her house, they kill her, and buried her in her backyard. Now, one of the news articles said that they threw her in a septic tank. So I'm going to stick to the one that said they buried her. They said they buried her in her backyard, took her cars, and drove them towards Kumasi. The next, Kumasi is about 4 hours from me. And they got pulled over. They probably got pulled over because they were two young little boys driving a brand new car. But it said in the article that somebody recognized the lady's car. I don't kind of think that's what happened because they were all the way in Kumasi. And I don't know how people in Kumasi would know that this car belongs to this lady, but it's possible. They get arrested. They tell the truth. The boy told the truth. He said we were getting married tomorrow. I mean, we were getting married in 2 days. I wanted to drive her car. She said no, so we killed her. Now, my thing is this. There is, people make fun about the fact that older women are marrying younger men and all the younger men want is the older woman's money. That seems to be the case in a lot of situations. They only want a visa. They only want you know the money. That does seem to be most situations. I can grant y'all that, and I've seen it, and that's what it looks like to me. And there's a lot of people on YouTube telling their stories about how they married younger men and men their own age, and just to get them to the U.S. and they left them. There's many stories like that on YouTube. Here is my theory, and this is just my theory. If he got that angry because she said no, that tells me that you have gotten angry before when she said no. Or are you angry because she has never told you no? Like, what got you so angry because she said no to you? This is a lady that's your fiance that you're getting ready to marry in 2 days. What made you so angry that she said no? But anyway, here's my theory on it. I don't believe he loved her. I believe he did just want I believe because he killed her. He cold-heartedly killed her and went and got his friend to help him. I believe that he did not love her. I believe his plan was to marry her in 2 days and kill her. I think him and the friend already had it planned. I believe they had already planned this I'm sorry, I can't say that word, but to unalive her. And once he unalived her after they're married, everything would be his. I mean, he would own all her stuff. What triggered him that day is what I don't know. Like, why didn't you stay cool? If that was your plan, why didn't you stay cool and go ahead and marry her and then own everything? What made you so angry that 2 days before your wedding, you and your friend killed unalived this lady? So it's a sad situation, but it really, when I got up this morning and read the news articles and saw that this was reality, like it really happened. This is not something that happens in Ghana. Like I said, he's not from Ghana, he's from Togo. She was not a Black American. It kind of sounded like she was raised in America, like she had lived in America for some years. So she did have US money and she came back to Ghana. And so that's the update. It's not going to be a long video unless y'all have some questions. That's all I know. They got arrested on the video. Like I said on the video, oh no, they said they were going to Kamasi to sell her cars. They wanted to sell her cars, but the police pulled them over. So now, more than likely, they're going to spend the rest of their life in prison here in Ghana. Um, I did get a link to the first link I got was to a YouTube video. When I clicked the link, it said videos unavailable. So I emailed the girl, I messaged the girl and said that the link won't open. She said that's because somebody went on there and asked him to take the video down because the family had not been notified yet. And so he did. I don't know if Facebook asked him or somebody on there, but he took the video down. That's why the video is no longer available on Facebook. But the news in Ghana has videos. So right now, that's all I know. I had a lot of anxiety. I remember, like just a couple of hours ago, I was sitting on the couch and I could feel my body shaking. Like I couldn't physically see my body shaking, but on the inside, I could feel my body shaking. Like I was disturbed by it. But this is an isolated incident. Like I said, I've been in Ghana 3 years, and I've never heard of anything like this. So, if you have any questions, rockabye, baby. Hi, Miss Kim. She's 80. He could have just taken the keys and driven away. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I believe that too. Just push her down, take the keys, and go. She's 80. I haven't seen a picture of her. I just heard that she does. The lady that told me said she's was 60. And I said, well, the news article says she's 80. She said, oh, Kim, she don't look nowhere near 80. That lady don't look 80 at all. So maybe she looked young. Either way, you're 30. Eh, hey, Tisha. Hey, One Ash. I have another moderator in the room, which is Tisha. Thanks for being here. Thanks for helping out. So it's disturbing. Now, her body is at the Capecoast Teaching Hospital's morgue. That's where they have her. They're both in jail. Um, And I don't know what to say. Like I said, I was my body just didn't handle it well. And I said I'm a person that I don't know how to let things go. Like it will replay in my mind over and over and over, like a video that's just replaying until I distract myself and get over it. And so that's the update. That's all I know. If y'all have any questions, I'm here. If not, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave. Thank you, Irma Jean, for subscribing. I appreciate that. I said it said a US citizen, but with the last name. Okay, my thing was I saw the last name, and that's what made me think like I don't think she's from the US because the last name didn't represent the US. Not, not that it's impossible, but she's not from the US. She is a Ghanaian, but she either grew up in the US or they said that she was US based. They didn't say she grew up there or had lived there for some years. They just said that she's a Ghanaian that was US based. And she came back with US money, but they didn't say anything about, you know, whether she was raised there or had lived there a few years, or they didn't go into details. And I read a few articles, and it's possible that they don't know a lot yet. But the fact that this happened 3 days ago and we knew nothing about it was really disturbing. So yeah, he could have just taken her keys and left. Like, why would you? I'm telling you, this sounds like a plan. This sounds like that this boy, this 30-year-old boy, wanted to marry this 80-year-old woman. Once he married her, he was already planning to unalive her because how do I okay? How do I get mad at Latif and say, oh, you know what? I'm about to unalive your ass. Let me run over to Tisha's house. Tisha, look, let's go unalive Latif and bury his ass in the ground. How does Tisha just be like, oh, okay, come on, let's go? No. I don't care how ride or die you are, how close you are with somebody. It doesn't go down like that unless you are two seriously cold-hearted ass people. That friend and that boy had that planned, in my opinion. They had already planned once he married her, he was gonna unalive her, and then everything she owned would be his. But whatever happened, he couldn't wait 2 days. His anger, her saying no to the car, his anger just went through the roof. Unless, like one of the articles said, unless she broke off the wedding and he knew he wasn't going to get anything. Yeah, really sad. Really, really, really sad. It's just, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. It just, like, I don't even know what to say. Right? Oh my God, laughing out loud. They planned it. They planned it. That sounds like a plan. I just can't imagine. But let me tell you something. Me and Latif was having a conversation. Me, Latif, and it was a few people at the store when we were still at the store. And we were talking about the economy of Ghana and how there's more petty thefts have happening. And they were sitting up saying that Ghana is getting ready to get worse. The economy in Ghana is so bad. The government got Ghana so messed up where people are struggling. It's harder for them to feed their families. And people are going to start robbing and killing and unaliving people just to feed their families. And Ghanaians are not like that. Like, even this guy was not a Ghanaian at all. He's not from Ghana. He's from Togo. He's from the French country. But, Ghana is probably going to have no choice but to start robbing people to feed their families, to eat. And so I'm hoping and praying. Well, first of all, I hope I'm out of here in a couple months. Other than that, I was really trying to hold on and wait to see what the new government was going to do. But yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I really can't speak on it. Here they believe karma is like this because we've talked about it this morning. Me, Atif, and somebody else, and somebody online that he may pay through his grandmother, but except he's going to be in prison all his life. Like, something down the line, your family is going to die the same way. That's not my opinion. That's what they're speaking of here. Yeah, people are cruel, Petisha. People are greedy and cruel. Like I said, what made you, what possessed you to think, oh, you're not gonna let me use your car? Let's just say this. You broke off the wedding. Let me go ahead and get rid of you now while I can and take what I can. Like they didn't load the car up with none of her stuff. They, to my knowledge, according to the news, they didn't find no money on them. They didn't find nothing on them. They were just in her car going to sell the car. I googled I googled I googled woman killed in I googled, I can't say the word, but I googled woman unalived in Cape Coast, Ghana, and it came up. A few articles came up, but those were in 2021 where somebody did a ritual on this little girl. I will never forget that. Some girl who went to Cape Coast University, they found her in the middle of the street. Some car pulled up and dumped her in the middle of the street, and I think her nipples or her breast was cut off, and her whole vagina area was cut out. And they tried to figure out it looked like a ritual, because Ghanaians know what rituals look like. It looked like somebody had used her as a sacrifice in a ritual. They went through her phone, and the last text the text messages they saw was her boyfriend telling her to meet him at the college. She was a third year college student. Anyway, he ended up getting arrested. So her story came up. But that was the last thing I heard about any crimes in Ghana. And she wasn't an American. She was a Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken. And the boyfriend was too. Food insufficiencies is exactly what I was thinking about. I saw a comment about everyone looking like they were on a diet. I don't see nobody here in Ghana looking like they're on a diet. I don't know anybody here in Ghana that doesn't have resources for food. Me personally, I don't see that. People are either growing their own food, they're working all day buying their own food, and these people don't eat like us. They don't eat big steaks and stuff. They eat a lot of soup, beans, and rice. So I haven't even seen any children here that look malnourished. So I don't really know where you saw that at, but I don't see that here, and I'm living here. Good morning, Royal. No, I'm in Ghana, West Africa. Thank you, Tisha. It seems that one was from Togo, but the other was, yeah, one of the fiance was supposedly from Togo. They never said I didn't read where the other one was from, but I assumed he was from Ghana. But the fiance was from Togo, and they got their full names in the news article. Oh, you remember the one about the girl? Yeah, that was. Oh, yeah. Hey, Egyptian goddess. Happy Monday. Is today Monday? Is today Monday? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, today is Monday because yesterday I was trying to get my last little battle in so I could get added to my paycheck because the time cards for TikTok go in on Sunday. Again, Tisha, I'm on TikTok live and I literally tap like at least 30 people back to 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 back. Nothing. Not one person asked to battle me. I ended up getting one battle. That was it. And that was it. It was it. I didn't look shadow banned because about 70 people came through the room, but they were just leaving. And I end up with like 20. I ended up having like 24 people, 26 people, 17 people. So it kind of looked like I wasn't fully shadow banned. I saw the comment under one of your lives. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Do you know masturbating? Masturbating? No, I don't know that. Okay, which means she's not from US, but she lived there for yeah. It says she was US based and she came back to Ghana. We keep telling these people that it's not like 1999. A lot of things have changed. Yeah, I don't know what people you keep telling because people in the world already know it's not 1999. Like, I don't wake up thinking that it's 1963 or 1970. We know that we're living in different times. I don't care what country you're in. We know that we're living in different times. Like, and I don't care where you live. What's up, Peter Pan? Yeah, they said that she was not from Ghana, that she was US based, and they didn't go into details. Masturbating is a famous, yeah, I don't know nothing about Ghanaian rappers. I've heard of Stoneboy and uh I don't know the Ghanaian rappers. I really don't. I hear my husband playing them, but I don't know who they are. And I would never I would never look him up unless something major happened to him. I don't know who he is. Masturbating is a famous Ghana rapper. What about DJ Ice? I don't know anything about Ghanaian rappers, singers, musicians, Christians. I don't know anything about the movie stars. I don't know nothing about none of that. I only know about Stoneboy. Uh, I heard about Black Sheriff and one other one, but I don't know who they are. Like, if they walk past my face right now, they would be nobody to me. I wouldn't recognize them. I just stepped in the chat when you say battle. Are you talking about rap battle? No, TikTok battles. We were talking about a TikTok battle. We battle on TikTok. On TikTok, you battle and you win. You win a lot of gifts, and the gifts turn into money. I just don't like that name. What name, TT? Oh, is that what they do in one show? Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and not play that on my. Oh, I almost blew my phone over. It's a nice breezy day, y'all. The wind is breezy. It is nice, breezy day. And it is mangoes falling off this tree, just one by one. They falling off the tree. I'm not touching one of them because I'm not over this worm situation, and I just can't do it. Latif said, "Oh, my wife, but this is a fresh one. It has no damage to it." I said, "Then you go ahead and eat it, husband." To my moderators, if you think somebody is trolling, as long as they're not getting disrespectful, don't delete them or block them. If they get outrageous and they just continue on, you can go ahead and put them in timeout. But if it's a troll on here, they just seem to be more annoying than anything. But don't ever second guess yourself as a moderator. If you see a person and they need to be deleted or blocked or muted, click that button. Click that button. Thank you, Tisha. Appreciate that. My TikTok is It's Kimberly Renee. IT apostrophe S. It's Kimberly Renee. Just with the pronunciation of it. I don't even know what TT. It's back cold here. Oh, God bless. See, God blessed us to get thunder and lightning last night. But when I tell you when we got the rain, it was just this little drizzle. Like, I could have cut the shower on and got that type of rain. I didn't understand. I just didn't understand. Thank you, Winston. What I really hate is this the Bob Marley one? I told y'all what I really hate was I got two dresses made the same but out of different fabric, and the fabric has the same colors, but one is Bob Marley and one is these drums. And so I think it's gonna look like I'm wearing the same dress, which y'all know I don't care because I wear this is like my dress right here. I could care less. This is like my go-to dress. This dress is in almost every damn video I got on TikTok. But all my little sleepers that I like to get comfortable in, they dirty. I gotta take them to the laundry and get those washed. Who's the very who's this very old fossil? Now this person needs to be blocked because I don't play that shit. And Bozo the Clown, what you don't know is I will cuss your bitch ass out. Hold on, y'all. I already got a warning from YouTube, so let me just. And he's gone. Thank you, TT, for getting him out of here because I was finna let him have it, and I'm trying not to. I'm really trying to control myself. I'm so tired, y'all. Feel like I've been hit by a train. My mom held a party last night and still got one more to go on Saturday. Pray for me, Lord. Y'all still partying? Thank you, Tisha, for hiding him. Black Americans should think twice before relocating to Africa. No, people in the world, people of every race, creed, and color should think twice before they move anywhere. Now, I'm sure most of the people that moved to Africa thought twice, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I'm sure we're not stupid, ignorant, mentally ill people that I know of. We are sensible mind people, and I'm sure these people thought twice, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. They probably thought a lot of times before they moved to Africa because they know they're crossing the waters coming to a strange country. Um, I personally didn't. I didn't come here to move here. I came on a 10-day girl trip, fell in love with the land, and decided to stay a little longer. But yeah, I'm sure people think about it. They got enough time to pack up, to sell their houses, put in a 30-day notice to move, pack up containers, ship them here. We don't think that we're going to come to a country. First of all, let me not even talk about moving to Africa. I know a few who didn't even visit first, okay, but they probably thought about coming here. But let me skip over Africa because the only reason this conversation is about Africa because I'm in Africa. The lady was killed in Africa and blah blah blah. But people get on here, and I'm not talking specifically about anybody on here. People get on my comments and act like this only happens in Africa. Ha ha, bet you wish you was in America now. No, I don't. We get killed way more in America. You more Black Americans get killed in America. Every single city and state that you can think of, more Black Americans get killed there than will ever get killed in Ghana. Okay, just like y'all think men are using these women in Ghana for money, men use women in America all day every day for money. You got women buying their men while he's sitting on the couch playing the PlayStation that his girlfriend or wife bought him, not doing shit all day. She's buying him Jordans. He got jewelry on, gold teeth in his mouth. If it's an older gentleman, he probably got a brand new Cadillac or whatever old people drive. You know, this happens in America too. Okay. This ain't just young men dating older women in Ghana. You got people in the US that's the same damn age doing the same damn thing, beating on their girlfriends, sitting around all day doing nothing, not taking care of their children, killing their wives. You know how big domestic violence is in the US. So this ain't about Ghana and older women marrying younger men in Ghana. That's just because this is my channel and that's what y'all like to talk about. Not just on my channel, but every damn channel. Hold on, let me see what this. How the heck? Oh no, I gotta call the bank. They got me messed up. I just got a notification saying my bank account is negative something. Somebody took something out. My bank account don't do that. Can't nobody take shit out my bank. Anyway, there are others who swear the high most told them to come. And they probably believe the Most High did send for them. You have to understand, a lot of people who are spiritually connected believe that. You got people that don't know nothing about the spirit, but they think they're spiritual and they believe the Most High called them. I hear that. I hear that so many times from so many people. Matter of fact, that's the number one reason from people that I've talked to, that is the number one reason people give me the Most High called me. Um, there are others who, okay, let me see, and they feel entitled just randomly. Kim, what was the animal last night? Oh, it was a cat. It was two cats. It didn't look like a snake because it was dark. When it was moving, it didn't look like a snake, but I couldn't see what it was. And I was just trying to make sure. Then when I saw it kind of walking, I've never seen a cat over here. So I didn't think it was a cat. And I'm like, is it an alligator? Like, what the hell is that? I didn't get scared because it was headed straight somewhere else. But Latif went over there, and it was two cats. And African women finessing men from all over the world. I don't know if African women are finessing men all over the world because I don't know. I don't personally know any African woman in my circle, in my life, in my family that's finessing no goddamn man. Excuse me. I don't know any woman. I'm sure they exist. But when I get on here and speak, I speak on what I know, what I've read, something like that. I don't know nobody that's finessing on no man. I don't. I didn't. But why wasn't the comment that you got men finessing women? I'm not. We're not gonna. We're not gonna do that. No, 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 no. I was giggling. He has no. He didn't. You TT. He didn't. It even took. Unless, okay, this is what will make Latif come out. Latif. That will make him jump up because he knows something disturbed my wife and she finna run her ass to the airport. That's because my first year, 2021, that was always my situation. Oh my God, I'm finna go home. I gotta get on here, buy my ticket, and go to the airport. But because I said, Latif, something's out here. That's not an emergency to him. He come out, he look, he walk up to it. He don't care if it's a snake, an alligator, or what, a lion, tiger, bear. He don't care what it is. He walk over there and say, "Oh, my wife is a cat." So yeah, they don't fear nothing here. What happened the other morning was I was in the room and I was coming out the room, and I come out the room. I see him bend over and pick something up. I don't know what it is. I figure it was a piece of paper or something. And I go ahead and sit down. He said, "My wife, would you like your coffee?" And he said, "Would you like your coffee or your cold drink in your cup?" And I said, I want some coffee. So he make my coffee, and I'm drinking the coffee. And he tells me, which is unusual for him to tell me, he said, "Oh, my wife, just as you was walking out the room, there was a millipede on the floor crawling, and I couldn't let you see it, so I had to bend down and pick it up real quick." And I said, "A millipede was in here? Like, how did he get in here?" Well, Latif leaves the door open at night. That's how I'm thinking he got in here. But he said, "My wife, I didn't want you to see it." And I said, "I'm so glad I didn't see it. I'm not freaked out about it because I haven't seen none in here. But I was glad he picked that bad boy up and I didn't see it because I have a problem with them." What the heck? Oh, I unplugged. Hold on, y'all. I was giggling. He has no fear. Follow the teachings of Martin Luther King Jr. Follow the teachings. Okay. Good morning, Freckleface. I work with an African lady who I just realized is selfish. She doesn't want anybody to get anything, such as overnight at work, because she says she got to feed her family back home in Africa. Yes, they are very selfish. They are not helpful at all. I'm speaking for the ones I know and I have met, but they're raised up that way. They are raised, and this is here's the thing. They study us on TV. They know people not they don't believe that from the UK because they don't. told me how they feel about the UK people. But they know Americans are sympathetic. They know Black Americans or Americans in general are sympathetic. They have that we have sympathy. And this is not charging my phone. Why? Hold on, y'all. Okay. And so that's why they'll keep begging, and you'll say, "Oh no, thank you. Oh, but mommy, please, mommy, please." And you'll say, "No, I'm not. I don't want to buy that, but please," because they know we will get frustrated and say, "You know what? Here, go. Take here's $5. Just go away." They know that we'll do that to them, and they don't care how much they irritate us. They don't care about nothing but getting what they want, and that's it. And they will stand at the castle and beg you, and they will follow you to your car trying to force you to buy something that you've told them 20 times you don't want, because they know that eventually a lot of Americans will say, "You know what, here, just I don't want the one for 20 CDs, but give me that little thing over there for 5." They gonna get something from you. Most guys are calm. Hey, Queen Jada. Hi, everyone. That's why I can't live there. The old girl here is scared of all critters and creatures. Girl, look, I don't know how it is living in the city of Accra. Accra has really big, fancy, so-called high-rise apartments and really fancier, more U.S. type things. Well, maybe you won't see that stuff. You know, here in Elmina, Elmina is more like like living in the country. Mm. Latif was telling me that when we went to the last bath, he said, "Hajia, that's the road where the lady got killed at or unalive." Not, no, she got unalived at her house, but the road they found them on, he said, "Hajia, that road, when we went to the last bath, my heart caught fear catch me." He said, "Fear catch me," because that's a forest area. And that's the area where if your car stop or people can jump out in front of your car and make you stop. And that is an area where people can attack you and rob you and nobody will know. So, and I said, "Well, I don't remember going through a forest area." I said, "Maybe because I was on live, I didn't notice." But he said that area, he said, "When we went through that area, fear catch me. I didn't like it. I didn't want to, I wanted to hurry up and pass that area." And I was like, "Oh, I really didn't notice." The only thing that Latif doesn't like that he said when fear catches him is when he's going through areas like bushy areas and there's no lights, because he said that is where people hide in bushes and wait to jump out and attack people, not to kill them but just to rob them, like take your cell phone, or for him they would take his bike, something like that. Even the way my parents is different. Even the way they parent is different. Oh, it's different. It is very, very, very different. It is in many, many, many ways. From what I see, like I said, I don't think they know how to love because they're not loved on as children. They're kind of forced to get out into the world and make money. But I don't see them really love on their children. The little babies get the love, the ones that's breastfeeding, and maybe they're 1, 2, 3 years old, but it's like right around age 3 or 4 was when you see them starting to get beat and yelled at and screamed at and, to me, mistreated. It seems like around 3 is where the love stops. Now we're going to raise you, get you prepared to go out in the world and make money, or get out here on the yard and do some farming. A few seconds ago, they didn't finesse. I'm out. I don't know what you mean by that, Steven. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. But I'm finna flip the screen so I can smoke. My coworker's daughter was getting raped by a Nigerian man and just recently found out about it. I feel so bad for the wow, my coworker daughter was what are they in the US or in Nigeria? That's a lot of that happening here. Again, that happens everywhere, but a lot of that is the difference in over here is the families will keep it quiet. Even when the little girls get pregnant, the families will keep it quiet. That's the difference in here in the US. The US, somebody will come up unalive, in prison, blah, blah, blah. But I notice here that it does happen. And when the story comes out, if there is a family member that reports it, it is on the news and it is dealt with. There was a little girl, I think this was 2022 or 2023. I was listening to the news and the news happened to be in English. And the big deal was this little girl was selling waters because parents send their children out to sell things. She was selling waters, on her head, and she would stop every day at this place, this business, I guess, and the men will buy the water. The two men will buy water. Well, nobody knew who was buying the water from her, but she would stop there and she would sell water. And this was every day. One day the little girl went in there and one of the neighbors was sitting out. She knew the little girl went there and sold waters every day. The little girl stayed in there for a while, and the neighbor just got a little concerned, but she didn't get up because Ghanaians don't get in nobody business. She said when a little girl came out, she was about 9 or 11. I can't remember her age, but she was young. She said when a little girl came out, she was walking funny, like she was walking like she was in pain. So she stopped the little girl and asked her, "Baby, what's wrong? Like, why were you in there so long? What happened to you?" And one of the men, I don't know if one or both of those men raped her. I want to say both of the men raped the little girl, but I don't remember the story. You can probably Google that. And so that got reported and that was on the news, which is how I found out about it. Her mom worked with me, but her mama never really had time for her. She is always working, and she says she never really told because the man was showing love to her and her parents wasn't. Oh, wow. Oh my God. That is so sad. That is just some sad shit. It really, really is. So are you saying, let me read this right. Her mom works with me, but her mama never really had time for her. She is always working, and she says she never really told because the man was showing her love. Okay, so it sounds like the little girl was okay with it. Is that what I'm kind of reading? Wow. Oh my God, Tisha. Now, oh, did she call the police? Is the man in jail? Because even after all of this, she still referred to him as uncle, the man who actually raped her. Wow. So that means he's not in jail. Nothing happened. And the mother's still going to work every day. See, I didn't really raise my kids. One thing I did not like, good morning, Casey. Well, they went to court and registered as okay, okay. Um, one thing growing up, because I remember being a little girl, and this man, men would sit little girls on their lap, and I will never forget. I was 8 years old. Well, I could have been 9 because we moved at 9, and I was at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother had a house where all her brothers and that was the gathering place. Whenever her brothers and sisters and everybody, we all was always at my grandma's house. We spent every weekend at my grandma's house. We spent our whole summers at my grandma's house. All of us cousins, like we would. She had this drawer, which I grew up having this cabinet full of blankets, full of clothes, full of socks. My grandma had this bureau, this dresser like thing where it was full of blankets.
The issue I get is
Hold on. And I'm on about the come.
about the woman.
Okay, don't stand over there and talk about it. Come here. Well, they went to. Okay, hold on. Latif said he just found out something about the
I
lady.
find out and I hear the details about it. It's true.
Did you read about it, or you just heard it in the?
They were giving news. 12 o'clock news, and I hear.
Come here.
Let me find the recording. Then you hear. The guy is a stupid guy. I'm telling you, he's a stupid, foolish guy. Where's my voice? See, listen to what the news people were saying.
Let me see it. This ain't English.
It's true that I will have to translate it. We are talking to that. Raise the volume.
Yeah, Latif gonna have to translate this into English for me.
I'm just getting inside to buy alcohol. The place I'm getting, they bring it. They are giving the news. They are doing the news. I say,
what are they saying?
It is true. Let me tell you what they are saying. That this is a sadness news that they hear. This is a journalist speaking. That the police people who in Central region, they have get the 2 people who killed that woman. That the man, the boy and the girl, no. I say the boy, the woman has 80 years.
Yes.
And then the let me finish it. That the boy tell the man that, oh, we we are getting near to marry. So that your Toyota, the 2 cars, give me one Toyota, and then I'll be riding. And the woman say no.
Oh.
They are looking at, or they are watching on the television. Well,
okay, Latif is trying to translate the news.
Translate it to you.
So apparently he didn't want to drive her car. He was telling her, we're getting married in 2 days, so give me the Toyota. And the lady said, no, I'm not giving you a car. So
the thing is, they are in that what is the name, Chef?
Capecoast.
No, not Capecoast. The place they were living. No, they say they call that place. They call that name, but I forget the name. Asebu or Asebu. That this man, this woman, and the man, they were living at Asebu. So the woman buy a property, and then build. So she buy and build, and then this boy, that 35 years boy, he come and do wiring for the woman, for the white lady. The woman is a white lady. She come and do wiring for the woman. So as the wiring, she did the wiring, everything, and then like they were friendly. So after that, they were friendly. They were liking, friendly. They were friendly, and the woman liked the boy. So they were together, and then now they have to to they were friendly, and now they have get to a relationship. So they love each other.
Okay.
So the man loved the woman loved the guy, and then now the boy turned to his boyfriend, and they are living on. And now they are even ready to what to marry. So as they are ready to marry, no, so they were living. So one day, and then the guy told the woman that he should give him one of his car, Toyota, and he'll be riding. And the woman said no, he's not ready to give me the car yet because they are going to marry and what. So the guy couldn't hold his heart. You see, that's why I say the guy is a fool and a fool and a fool and fool. The guy is God will punish him forever and ever. I'm telling you. So the guy, the woman said no. So the guy, he know how he did. He killed the woman for not saying yes or for not accepting. So he killed the woman and then buried the woman backwards of the house.
Mm-hmm. Buried her in her backyard.
Backyard. So, but the white woman, she have a backyard garden, and then she plant a few things, and then people come and then be plucking, vegetables and those kind of things. So one woman came to pluck vegetables, and he see the backyard like
it was dug up.
It was dug up in such a way something like that. He didn't understand. So he see blood, symptoms of the women give information quick.
Yeah.
So she quickly ran and then they call somebody, and the person come. They come and watch, they know. So the area, like this area, they try and give information to the police people like this and this and that. So the boy, the 35-year boy, he called his friend and tell him that that his wife, is a white woman, is ready to go to his hometown. So the woman said he should do what? He should go and sell the 2 cars for him. That was the plan.
So the friend didn't have nothing to do with the killing.
He doesn't know. Like for me, if who is my friend? Who is my friend? The person I know that is my friend. Like for example, Blago, or I call him Mustafa.
Yeah.
Pick something and then they will go. But they all trust me. They know what I'm doing. Not knowing that the guy killed his own wife. Just imagine, stupid guy. I should kill 80 years human being. 80 years, the person grow. Why should the guy? I'm telling you. So the boy his friend doesn't know. So he said he should come and pick one. The woman said they should come and pick the car, and they go to Kumasi and sell the car and bring the money. So he's ready to go to the place he's coming from. So he called his friend. His friend come and pick the other car, and he picked one car, and the friend.
That's why they were in 2 cars.
Very good.
Okay.
So they are moving to Kumasi. Kumasi, before the woman who saw the blood backwards of whatever, and go and give information, and then now they give information to the police. So the police people to give information to their colleagues, police people on the barrier. Barrier. So the barrier, Capecoast Central here that they
the
get
police
them.
barrier.
Yeah, police barriers. So Central region area here they get them. So they say even the recording, the man say the body is in the mortuary in Capecoast.
UCC. Her body's at UCC.
So now the boys they are inside the jail, or they are inside the police hands, and then now they are trying, they will go in life in prison, but that boy will be his friend will be safe because he doesn't know nothing.
Yeah, he has a chance.
He has a chance. So the guy, the 35-year guy,
this isn't charging my phone.
He is the stupid person who does get him. I am getting to the they start in the news and it pays me that it's not English. Like you hear everything.
Wow. So did y'all pretty much hear the story, or do I need to break it down? This is a sad situation, but I'm glad the news.
So the news people, they say the woman They say the woman is a white. They say the woman is a white lady. If he's supposed to be a black American, by now Ghana we are in trouble.
Wow.
That's what they say. They say, that we are lucky that she's the woman. The woman was even a white person. She's a white lady.
I haven't seen her picture.
She's a white lady. They will bring. But people are still working on it. This one come to news. You have to know that it's truly. My same area that's like it didn't happen. Just
see, Acebo is where they giving all that free land out. That's where they keep wanting us to move to, and I'm like, no, I'm not moving way out there.
So they give information to the barrier police people, and then the central region area barrier here, they get them.
Yeah,
they get them.
Wow.
Did you see?
Hello, Latifa.
Takwadi and coming here is dangerous. So that road, no.
The Takrady Road I don't like. I don't like. I do not. That's why I won't go renew my Ghana card. I don't even want to be on Takrady Road.
It's dangerous. I'm telling you. Hey, so he called his friend to come for them to take the cars and go to Kumasi and go and sell. See foolishness. Where are you? Why do you want to go? What do you want money for?
Did it say how he killed her?
The news, they said it, they said it, but as it's in Chiu, just jumping. They said how he killed him. He said he should give him. They were in a relationship a very long time.
I know. Did he choke her? Did he stab her?
The relationship, and then now the man telling him that, oh, as now we are ready to marry, then can you please give me one of your car and I'll be riding? And the woman said no. So that is the problem.
Yeah, I know the problem. I just want to know, how did he unalive her? Because they didn't say that in the article.
No, they didn't say it. They just find it. They found him. They found the dead body under the backyard, being buried. They didn't know how he killed him. No, nobody know.
Okay. So let me just do a breakdown of what Latif just heard on the news. I can't listen to the news because it's in the Twi language. So Latif is trying to translate. Apparently he was her electrician. He was not 30. He was 35. 35, yeah. He was her electrician. He came in to do some housework for her, some wiring for her. And as you know, he's coming in and out of her house. They start to like each other. They get into a relationship. They fall in love, and now they're getting married. In 2 days, they're getting married. He tells the lady, the news made it seem like he wanted to drive the car. But now that the story's out on the real news, they're talking about it. He's telling her, we're getting married in 2 days. Can you give me the Toyota? Because I'm going to be your husband, basically. And the lady said, no, I'm not ready to give you a car yet. We're not married. The lady has a garden in her backyard, a very neat garden, and people come to her garden and pluck vegetables. So some lady went to her garden to pick vegetables and noticed that there was an area that was dug up that didn't look right. So then she noticed blood on the ground, or what looked like blood, and she ran and got the neighbors.
But she suspected that she
ran. And they went and called the police and came, and sure enough, the lady was buried there. The Capecoast police put out a bulletin because there's only one road. There's only 1 or 2 roads they can go on. So they notified the police. They have barriers on the highway where they stop cars and look inside the car and make sure everything's cool. So the police were already notified to look for these 2 cars. The boy that was the friend, according to the news, did not know anything about the lady being unalived at all. The boyfriend told the friend, my wife is getting ready to travel and she wants me to sell her cars. That's how the friend got involved. So the friends going to Kumasi to sell the cars, and then the police pulled them over. And because it did say that somebody noticed her car in Kumasi. And I'm like, how did just somebody in Kumasi just know her car? Well, the police have been notified that her cars were stolen. And now they're in jail. And, it'll kind of, I'm sure we'll get more and more news from there. This happened in Capecoast 3 days ago. I didn't know she was a white lady. They just said she was. It's white. I'm waiting to see the picture because nobody at all said she was white.
People say she's white.
But see, the news people saying she's white. She could be a light skinned black lady. They call us white.
That the journalists, they go into the investigation that is not coming from Black American. That if it's supposed to be Black American like Ghana, we are in trouble.
Oh, okay.
No, she's not Black American. She's a white That she came to Ghana and she flew the environment of Ghana and she decided to stay. That is all.
Well,
so
see, so the news is conflicting because the news report I read said that she was born in Ghana and she went to live in the U.S. She either grew up in the U.S. or she went there for some years, and then she just came to Ghana.
But when they're watching, they said she's not coming from U.S. Not U.S. Not Black American from United States.
Okay, which makes sense because now that they got time to investigate and look deeper into it, we probably will hear more of the truth. But like I said, that freaked me out so bad last night. I got up and made sure every window in my house was locked. Like I said, I made sure it clicked. It was locked. I went almost into a light paranoia and almost a light state of shock as well, because this doesn't happen in Ghana. I've never heard this in Ghana since I've been here. And this is just an unusual situation. But the boy is not from Ghana. He's from Togo. I don't know how long he's been living in Ghana, but I'm sure, or if he even lived, well, he eventually was living with her. But where she lived is in Acebo. Acebo is the place where they're giving away the free land. I don't like it out there. It's far, far out. There's nothing out there, and I just don't like the area at all. No, he didn't try. No. Now he's going to be in prison. The boy with him he has a chance to get free because he can only tell what he know, that the man came and got me. I was at home. They probably gonna go to his parents' house or his wife and ask, "Was your husband home at this time?" and blah 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 blah.
He's a stupid man. He didn't try.
Wow.
How should you do such a thing? How should you can't create a human being and you are killing a human being? Just imagine.
Imagine.
You cannot create. You shouldn't have to kill it. Your life is in somebody's hand. And how should you kill somebody?
Wow.
He himself, devil has already taken him long time before he did such a thing. He's not a normal human being. I mean, his family or they are killers. Ooh. If your father is not a killer or your mother was not a killer, killing will not come into your heart. I'm telling you.
Wow.
You don't fear God. They say fear God. This is how they say fear God. No. People don't fear God.
Yeah, you got people that act like they don't fear God. That's the truth.
Actually, you say a stupid thing. You don't fear God.
Wow.
Just imagine.
Well, yeah, not only is it interesting, it's a true story. Like I said, I knew the lady had been unalive for 2 days, and I'm in Ghana. Capecoast is the city that I go to every
that is why
Wednesday to do my shopping at Malcolm and Andy's. That's where y'all see me shopping at in Capecoast.
And these people, this road, is a road that everybody pass. They use these bad things to pass because it's a motorway. You see?
Yeah.
So the police people, they know that people use this road for execution, what they call it, exhibition or illegal things. They know they take illegal things and they pass in this road. This actually road, illegal things are passing too much. That's why this road is dangerous. Police people, they don't joke. From Central Region to Takoradi, this road is full of police. If you are thinking like you are going, you just moving and you don't take something which is not good to follow this road. You'll be in trouble because.
And I know the police stop cars for different reasons. Like I was going to the airport to catch my flight in 2022. I was going to the airport to catch my flight in September. I believe it was September. And we left at 4:30 in the morning. My plane was leaving at 8:30. One, I don't like being on the road in Ghana at night. I do not like it at all. A lot of the roads are dark, but the road to Accra is very well lit. It's 4:30 in the morning. The taxi pick us up because my plane leaves at 8:30, and it's a 3-hour drive to Accra, but it could be 5 hours in traffic. But that time of morning, there's no traffic. But I want to, stop. I wanted to get some socks because you have to take your shoes off at the airport, and I don't want my feet on the ground. So I wanted to stop and get some socks. grab some snacks to take on the plane with me, and a water bottle so I can, when I get into the airport, I can fill up the water bottle. So the police pull us over, and the lady's shining the light in the car, and she woke me up. And so I woke up, and she said, "Are you okay, ma'am?" And I said, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm okay." And she said, "Where are you going?" I said, "To the airport." And she just kind of told the driver he can go. And I asked the driver in Latif, "Why did she wake me up?" And no, I asked her, "Why did she wake me up?" And she said, "Because you're in the car with two men. I don't know if you know them. I don't know if they kidnapped you. I don't know what happened. I don't know anything. What I woke you up for, to make sure that you're okay, that you know these people and you're okay." She probably asked me a few other questions and I don't remember. And she let us go. So as we drove off, I asked the Latif and the driver, about it. And the driver said, "Yeah, I'm a driver. They do that because," she said, "one, because you were asleep, that was a red flag for her. You're in the car with two men and you're asleep. She doesn't know if we drugged you, if you're dead or what. So that's why she woke you up, to make sure that you were okay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And we just moved on. She wasn't taken out by a stranger, so you have nothing to fear. It's not about the area, it's about a person she knew and trusted. Oh, I know that. I know in my right mind, nobody's gonna hop this gate or hop this wall and come hurt me. It just freaked me out at the moment. 9 times out of 10, people that hurt you, grape you, rob you, steal from you are people that you know, or people that have been watching you. I remember my neighbor. I probably told y'all this story. I remember my neighbor who lived right behind me in the US. Now it's me and my 3 daughters. We don't bother nobody at all. My daughter is in her senior year in high school. She go to school every day. My other daughter is pretty much home, or at work. I get up and go to work. I was going to work at 11 in the afternoon. I was working from 11 to 8 for the city of Fresno. And my neighbor started beating on my back door, like beating on the back door like it was a problem. But by the time I got to the back door, she left and was knocking on another neighbor's back door. But as I'm walking to the back door, I can hear her saying, "Yeah, motherfuckers don't want to open a back door while somebody broke in my motherfucking house," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Broke in her house?" So I open up the door and I said, "Excuse me, you just knocked on my door?" And she said, "Yeah, somebody broke in my house. And I just want to know if you heard anything." And I said, "I didn't hear." I said, "I don't know about nobody breaking in your house. I didn't hear nothing." Mind you, this is a lady who parties every night. She doesn't party. She works all day. But she has a lot of family living in her house, and they party all the time. They're shooting. That when they done got drunk and ran into trees, like it's always a lot of noise at her house. So even if I heard noise, I don't pay it no attention. So then I sit down, I go in the house and I sit down and I'm rethinking. And I said to my daughter, I said, "India, I did get up last night at 4:30 in the morning because I heard noise in her house, which didn't shock me that I heard noise." My daughter said, because they're always noisy. The boys kick on the wall, they throw balls against the wall. My daughter said, "Ma, nobody should be in her house because her and her family is gone out of town." And I went outside and looked, and all their cars are gone. So I'm thinking, who's in her house then? But I don't pay her no attention because she could have left somebody in her house that's in there making noise. Later on during the day, I go and tell her, I said, "I'm sorry somebody broke in your house, but," and I went to tell her, I said, "About 4:30, I did hear some noise, but I just assumed it was somebody in your house until my daughter told me that y'all were out of town. And I looked and noticed that all your cars were gone." She said, "Well, it's funny because it's funny that you didn't hear because they moved out. They moved out my beds and dressers and this and that." So I still feel like she think me and my daughters rented her house and stole her stuff, right? So I said, "Well, I'm just here to let you know." She don't give me no eye I'm talking to her. She's responding. She don't give me no eye contact. She's pissed and she believes that we stole her stuff. Me and my 2 daughters went in her house and drug out some shit, beds and dressers. Mind you, my whole point is, I told her, Tasha, I have never in 12, I lived there 13 years. I have never in 12 years been inside of your home. I don't know what's in your house to make me want to go in there and steal from you. I don't know if you got computers, a nice refrigerator, stove, jewelry. I don't know nothing about your house. Whoever, so she's not paying me no attention. So I leave. And I said like this, well, my door is open if the police want to come. You can come look at my house. The police can come look at my house. I'm sorry to hear what happened to you. I walked off. But and I'm sure she eventually found out who stole her stuff, and me and my daughter. I'm sure everybody told her, like, do you really think that lady and her 2 daughters came in here and stole your dressers and beds and shit I don't need? Like, if I stole it, what, I'm gonna steal it right in, I put up a U-Haul truck right in front of all the neighbors and stole your shit? It just didn't make no sense. But somebody that knew her, that had access to her house, stole her stuff. You know, it's always somebody, you know, girl, I ain't never been in your house. For 13 years, I went in that lady house. 2 years after that, I went in her living room for the first time because her son graduated high school, and you know, I watched him grow up. I lived there 13 years. And so I went over there to congratulate him, and I gave him $20, said congratulations. I gave him a card, and I gave him a candy necklace. Like, at the time, candy necklaces were real popular. And every year at graduation, I would sit down and make the candy necklaces. You know, you wrap them in cellophane and put candy in them. The Asians put like big bags of chips in theirs. And I gave them a candy necklace, $20 in a card. But yeah, it's somebody, you know. I just got freaked out at the moment. And then I woke up when I started reading the news, and it was really, really real. My body started shaking, and it just made me very, very uncomfortable. Yes, y'all. Yes, they'll do that. Nosy lurking people. Wild over there. Um, it's not wild over here. Universal. It's not wild over here. It's wild in America. It's wild in Iraq. It's wild in Canada. It's not wild over here. It it it's this has nothing compared to the wildness in the US. Nothing compared to the murders in the US, the shootings, the killings, the robberies, the rapes, the nothing. So it's not wild over here like that. It's just something that freaked me out at the moment because it's something Ghana's not used to. Ain't nothing wild about Ghana. Like I said, the worst crime you see over here is petty theft. Good morning, Michelle. Thanks for coming in. Good morning, Kanisha. No, I don't remember the song Blue Star Running Away by Sly Stone. No, I remember Sly and the Family Stone like a group, but I don't remember that song. I was like 10, 11, and 12, I think, when their music was out. Gonna run away from it all. Gonna run away, gonna run away. I remember some song like that. I don't know who made it. You are late. I am not talking about Ghana, excuse me. Sorry, Universal Empire. I am late. I'm not reading all the comments, but because the conversation is, you know, about Ghana mostly, I thought you was assuming Ghana. You said it's wild over there. So when you said it's wild over there, what were you talking about? What there were you speaking of? I am considering moving to Ghana, but am concerned if I definitely have to have a business to sustain my lifestyle. You have to either have consistent US money. Um, it's not easy to come over here and open up a business in Ghana, but you have to have consistent US money. I mean, like I said, I know people living over here off $1,000 US in Social Security or SSI or one of them. I'm not sure which one because I don't question people and I don't get any of that money yet. So, but there's people over here living off Social Security. I think it's Social Security, $1,000 a month. I was talking about your neighbors. Oh, yeah, she was wild. She had a personal, I don't, that lady had a personal problem with us. I mean, we ended up being family, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why she think me and my daughters. She knows that there's no men living in my house. I don't have a house where people come and hang out and party and kick it. There was like we do celebrate holidays. We did celebrate holidays at my house. My house is the place where we celebrate Christmas, 4th of July. I have a grandbaby born. My firstborn grandchild was born on the 4th of July. So we celebrate birthdays and stuff there until I think about 2011 or 12 was the last birthday party because every single child's birthday party turns into a drunk session for grown people. And somebody want to get drunk and argue and fight. And I had one last birthday party for my son had a birthday party for his baby turning 2 or 3. And I told him, I don't want no liquor at this party. This is a kid party. Sure enough, everybody got liquor. They drinking, they drunk. Police end up coming to my house because everybody's stupid. My daughter ended up getting a can of mace and said, if y'all don't get out of here, I'm macing everybody in the house. And everybody ended up leaving. But that was my last party. From that point on, I would just give small little get-togethers with me and my family. There were no outsiders invited. Nobody else had another birthday party at my house except my firstborn granddaughter who actually lived in my house. You can be a real estate tycoon like Alita Israel and pimp the diasporans with overpriced land to sustain yourself in Ghana. um I don't really agree. I don't agree with that, Dan. I don't agree with that. I just don't. The land that Alita and me and her are not friends. We don't talk. We're not friends. I know her. I know of her. We are not friends. The land that she started dealing with was the free land that the chiefs were giving away for free. I don't know how the hell she's pimping people, but what she did was open up a construction company. She opened up her own construction company. And so the people that's the people that's getting the free land and getting the paperwork to the land, her construction company starts to go in and her masons start to go in and do the building. The first thing you do when you buy the land is you secure it. You put your wall up, and I think the first thing you have to buy is like 3,000 or 5,000 bricks. But like I said, I don't know her. I ain't friends with her, but I am over here. I know the situation, and I don't see how she's pimping nobody. I just don't see how she's pimping anybody. So if you can, explain that to me a little better, like make me understand how she's pimping people. Alita doesn't own any of that land that she originally started. That land in the Cebu, she doesn't own that land. That land belongs to the chief that's giving it away to Americans for free. And the reason they claim, oh no, it's not free, is because you do have to pay $900 to get all the paperwork put in your name. He's giving you the land, but you have to go to the land surveyor, the city land people, and have them get the paperwork and get you all your indentures and stuff like that. It's so easy for people to put labels on people and put information out that they heard a little snippet about, or you don't know the whole story, and tarnish people's names. Like I said, she ain't my friend and probably will never be my friend ever in life, but I've heard nothing about her pimping people and charging people extra money and shit. I don't know. She is marketing the land as if she owns the land herself. Just go to, I watch her. I know her. I watch her channel. I know how she got started with the land. I know the whole story. But she is not pimping people. I wouldn't consider her pimping people. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't consider. She's a person with a nasty attitude. I will agree with that. She's not a friendly person. She has had people asked for their money back from her, because what she did was try to handle everything herself and got overwhelmed, and people were backed up. People would give her money for land and wouldn't hear from her for 2 months, and they'll call her like, what's going on with my land? And she'll get an attitude. One lady posted her story, posted screenshots of how Alita was talking to her and everything. So she has had to return people's money. And then eventually, according to her, she did hire a team of people and sent for her dad to come and help her and blah, 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 blah. But I wouldn't say she's pimping people for money. I wouldn't put that label on her. And I don't give a damn about, I don't care for it all, but I wouldn't put that label on her. I wouldn't do that. And she probably does. She probably has ventured off, because I know she was showing somebody some beachfront land. I don't think she owned it, because she has bought her own land since then. So she probably is now selling some of her own land. But as far as her pimping people from the US, I just wouldn't put that on her like that. I wouldn't do that. I'm over here with her, and like I said, I don't give a fuck about her. She ain't my cup of tea, and I don't give a damn if she on here. She's not my cup of tea. But I wouldn't put that label on her. I think things will be a lot smoother if sisters love one another a little more, because us as women already have disadvantages just being women. That's true. I don't know how we got on the subject of women loving each other, but that would be nice. We've been saying that for years. I've been hearing that since I was a kid, and it don't happen. So I don't worry about it. I spent my life seeking sisterhood and sisters, because, like I said, my mama and daddy, selfishly enough, didn't give me a sister, but they gave all of my brothers a sister, and I'm the sister. And so I was like a person with no mother or no father. You seek what you don't have, and I spent my life seeking sisterhood. And no matter what organization I joined or pledged in or whatever, took oaths with, it just didn't work out. So I no longer care about that. I feel like God will send me the people he wants to be in my life. And he has sent me women that I call sisters, that we click, we're good together, and I'm okay with that. I know for a fact that she is accepting the money through PayPal. Therefore, she ain't paying no taxes on that bread. So what? I mean, I'm just saying, why do you care if I sell? Listen, if I buy that land that I'm finna buy right now for 12,000 CDs, less than 1,200 US dollars. If I buy that land right now and choose to sell it for 3,000, that's my land. And if you agree to buy it for 3,000, what's the problem? I don't get what it is about her that bothers you and what she's doing, because the only thing that bothers me is she has a very nasty. I remember her before all of this, and once she got all of this, she just has a very nasty attitude. Her demeanor is horrible. Like, she looked down on people, and she be on her videos talking about, I don't deal with people who if I've been talking on the phone with you and our spirits don't click, I won't even take your money and blah 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 blah. It's just she just says a whole lot that made me stop watching her. She rarely will come across my screen, and if something catches my attention, I'll look at it. If not, I unfollowed her and don't deal with it. But I mean, why should she have to pay taxes? Who's making her pay? I get money through PayPal too. I get money through my Zelle, my gold, my credit union. All my money comes through my US accounts. I don't have no Ghana account here. Don't want one. So what's the problem if she's getting money through PayPal? Who cares if she's paying taxes or not but the government? And how is her not paying taxes? How does that equal her black pimping Americans? Like make me understand how she's pimping Americans by not paying taxes to PayPal or whoever. And if you tired of typing and you want to come up on the screen and talk, you can do that too. You can come in as a guest. This coffee cold as hell, y'all. Dan, you want to come up as a guest and so we can hear you? Because I'm trying to read what you're saying. And I know things come through different in text messages. I don't want us to really get into it because I know typing messages and hearing people's voice is different. I do understand that. Hey, Journey, welcome. Queen Chada, what are you laughing at? I'm going to flip y'all around for a minute. You know, like I said, YouTube will allow me to smoke, but I ain't comfortable with it. I would love to be a guest, but you don't want to discuss the topics that I had mentioned. Jocelyn, what topics did you mention? Because a lot of people bring up topics to me, and I don't necessarily remember what topic. I don't remember you asking me to discuss any topic. So can you refresh my memory? I've never been to Kenya. I will never go to another. I do not want to go to another country in Africa except Egypt for a real quick visit and get out of there. Laugh out loud. Go warm the coffee up. My husband gonna come warm it up in a minute. Jocelyn, what did you ask? When and where did you ask me to talk about a topic? Because I honestly don't remember. Run across your channel a couple weeks ago, enjoying your information. Thank you, Bonafide, baby. And if I didn't respond to you, it's possible that I didn't even see your comment asking me to discuss a certain thing. It's a lot of comments I don't see either on my live or when I go to my comment section on YouTube. I can't read every single comment. I just can't. I got people on my YouTube that wrote almost whole books, and I refuse to sit and read it. Let me see. How would I don't even know how to add a guest, actually. Oh, add guest. Yeah, I don't even know how to add a guest. I really don't. How the hell? Pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user, add as moderator. How do you? Oh, hold on. I think I see it. Hold on. I see an X. Nope. How do you bring somebody request to come up just so I can see how it works? I can take you right back down, but somebody send a request to be a guest so I can see how this works. Because I have no, let me click this button right here. No, this button says highlight. Hold on, highlight, add 1 minute video. No, I don't know. If you want to know the real, just ask Steve Corkley about Rabbi Cohen. I know Rabbi Cohen. I don't have to ask anybody. I know Rabbi Cohen and I know Alita and I know the rumors and I've heard all of that. My home was One Africa for 2 months and I go there regularly and sit at the ocean. I don't need to ask because I know what's going on, but I wouldn't consider her pimping people because she's making money. Thank you, Journey. Can somebody request to be a guest? Anybody? Just like I said, I won't keep you up here unless you want to stay. I just want to see how adding a guest works. Okay, let me see. Okay, I got 83 guests. That doesn't work if I click that. Hey, Natty Queen, welcome. Um, How the heck do you add the guest? It says, but when I click add guest, it just shows me Facebook, Gmail, copy link. Let me see, share play, which I don't know what share play is. I have no idea what share play is. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out how to add a guest. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to request to be a guest. Does anybody on here know how to request to be a guest? What in the hell? Let me click the live button and see. Nope. Okay, let me flip the screen. Maybe that'll change something if I flip. Top chat, cancel, share, add guest. If I add guest, it only goes to copy links to send to YouTube, to send to like Facebook and all those places. Oh, let me click share play and see what that does. Share play connects you as TV shows and listen. Connect share play. Connect as you watch TV shows and follow. Listen. Share your screen. Share your screen with share play. No, that's not it. I can't do that either. Okay, I don't know how to add a guest. I can't see how to do that. There has to be a way because people have guests on here. This is ridiculous. I don't know. I really don't know, y'all, what to do. Let me finish my cigarette. Queen Jada, Secret Place, Truth Serum. Anybody on here know how to add somebody as a guest? Pathological Observer. You have to drop a link in the chat. Okay, let me try that. Thank you. Just hold on. Let me share. No, not share. Okay, copy link. Link copied. Well, I can't because I don't even know how to. It's nowhere for me to leave a comment. Pin, remove, cancel. There's no way for me to leave a comment at all. I can't reply to nobody. Go back to that other screen. Which other screen? Let me see. Okay, so I'm on this screen. I see share and add guests. If I click add guests, it has copy link and then it has all kind of share to Facebook and that type of stuff. But I don't know how to add a comment on here. What in the fuck? Share, add guests, cancel. Top chat, live chat, all chat, cancel. How the hell do I leave a comment? Yeah, I can't. Like, I don't know. If one of my moderators can copy the link and put it up. StreamYard. Is that an app that I have to add to YouTube? Walaikum salam, Fatima. Thanks for coming in. Latif, can you bring my drink, please? I was adding someone. It's as simple as it is on Instagram. I don't use Instagram Live. I don't see a join feature. Maybe I don't have the ability. Well, when I first go on live, it says add guests. And when I click that, it shows two screens. But then when I click live, that screen goes away. You can get StreamYard. where you are. I can get all the apps where I'm at. So what I will look into that. Since I don't really know what the heck to do. The problem is I don't know where I can leave a comment at. Every button I click, it doesn't let me leave a comment. Pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user, add moderator, and cancel. That's all I see.
Yeah.
Thank you, husband. So yeah, back to that. I know the story about those people, and there was even a news conference done on that where the chief was saying that that land, some of that land was never authorized to be given away or sold. That was a whole nother issue. All I know is from the time I came to Ghana, I didn't want no part of that free land, free paying for it. I didn't want no part of it. I would have been surrounded by Black Americans, which is not what I came to Ghana for. I have no issue with them. I see them, I speak, I wave. If they come by, fine, yeah. But I didn't want to be surrounded. They were building their own American community, and that's not what I came to Ghana for. You know, I didn't want to be around all Black Americans when I came here to, you know, embrace the natives and the culture. Plus, there were strings attached. It was just something about that free land that didn't sit right with me. One, after about a year, I realized there were strings attached to the land. And that is every year they have some big chief celebration or something. And you are expected to either give money or participate in the parade or the festival some kind of way. And I'm sure the strings will be there, more and more strings will be added to that. Oh yeah, I love drinks with ice in it. Like I almost can't drink. I don't. I either like my drink slushy or with crushed ice, and because this ice comes in a block package, I can bang it and crush it up as much as I want. Fatima, do you know how to add a guest on YouTube? I know you just came in, or do anybody know how I can leave a comment on YouTube? Miriam, do you believe that God is a woman? Do you believe that God is a woman? You just hit the nail on the head about the strings. Yes, yes. It was people kept asking me, why won't you go get the free land? Why won't you go with the free land? I told everybody before I even knew about the strings, I told them it's something about that free land that just don't sit right with me. It ain't shit free, especially in Ghana. No, 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 and no. Show us your bangers. No, but your outfit is cute. You know, Fatima, this is my favorite green. This is my comfort right here. This is like when little kids walk around with blankets and have their thumb in their mouth or they got their favorite blanket. This is my favorite dress, period. It's comfortable, it's cool. Um, and y'all can look on TikTok, and I got this dress on in so many videos and don't care. This is the one. There's been that is true. There's been issues of people scamming and selling, giving away land they have no plan to. That happens a lot over here. You can buy land. I said this on a video before when they were saying that you know Ghanaians are so great to us. They ain't doing nothing wrong to us. Americans are coming here over here fucking Ghana up and spoiling Ghana. And I made a whole video and broke that down. you can come over here and buy land. I can buy this land right here, right now. And from the owner, get the paperwork and everything. And a year later, or 6 months later, or 5 years later, some old ass elder will come along and say,
No, it's not like that.
let me finish what I'm saying. Some old ass elder will come along, or some chief or somebody will come along and say, this is our land. Mr. Smith was not supposed to sell it to you. He had no right or no authority to sell this land to you. We want our land back. That has happened many, many, many times to Black Americans. There's people in court. Now you got to spend, when they don't want the land, what they really want is you to give them some money. So you give them the money, they cool. If you don't want to give them the money and you want to fight it, or if they really do want to land, now you got to spend your money and go hire a lawyer and fight for land that you paid for and built on. So that's typical here. I ain't never going to the Gambia ever, ever, not to visit. I don't want to drive through it. I got sisters in Gambia and they're getting up out of there. Do you think it's best to have the cover of do you think it's best to have the cover of a husband when trying to do business in Ghana or even in Africa as a whole? I don't think it's best. I mean, to each his own. I don't think it's best. I mean, there's a lot of single people over here, and they do have male friends and people that walk them through Ghana and help them with things. But I don't think it's best to have a husband. No, I don't. I don't think it's no. Maybe it helps. I really don't know. As a wife of an African man, I will not take land from his family, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you because it will be an issue with the family. It really will be an issue. Just seeing your video responding to the corporate junkie. I support everything you said. Shout out from the UK diaspora living in Uganda. Thank you, Subi Shop. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. So land is brought through the government or the people. Probably different. Mostly land is bought from individual owners, or the chief can give you land, or you can buy land from the chief. Like the land I'm looking at that I want to buy, I had to go see the man, and then the man took me to the elder of that area or something like that, and we ended up negotiating the price. And what I would do is pay for the land, then have a land surveyor come in and do whatever they do. If you both decided to move to the U.S., would it be difficult to get your husband there? I noticed the U.S. government has different rules from different countries. No, it's not easy. It's not easy. There's a list of countries that can enter the U.S. visa free, right? Not one of those countries are for Black and brown people. Not Jamaica, not Africa, no country in Africa, Mexico, no country that's predominantly Black and brown people is on that visa free list. I did not know that until I got married. But no, I have no intentions on moving to the US either way. Why do these African American people want to segregate themselves in Ghana? I don't know. I can't, probably because Ghana made a big old campaign in the US to come home, and I don't really know why. I can't speak for nobody. Like I said, I came here. I mean, it could be the land is cheap, the land is beautiful. You can live cheaper over here with US dollars, but I can't speak for other people. I came here, like I said, I didn't know nothing about Ghana. Never wanted to come to Africa because all they showed us was bad stuff about Africa. I just happened to come here on a 10-day girl trip from a group that I was in, and got over here and saw that not Africa, but Ghana looked nothing like they had been showing me on TV all my life. It looked nothing like I saw in books. I've seen no kid that's skinny and malnourished. I have seen no child with flies on their face and big stomachs. I have seen none of that in Ghana. All these children over the age of 3 that I know in my neighborhoods for 3 years all go to school. in clean uniforms. Their parents ironed and pressed their uniforms. Uh, I didn't see what they were showing me on TV all my life. Why do these African American people want to segregate themselves in Ghana, please? I don't know because I'm not a part of that. I read your comment wrong, Dan Dabble. I don't know because I'm not a part of that group. I don't know why people, like in the US, you got Chinese people that come to the US and they have a whole little China. You got probably Africans that come to the U.S. They got a whole little Somalian community. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't come over here to separate myself and live in an American community and be with all Black Americans. Why would I? Why? Yeah, I don't know where they were, but I've been seeing them all my life. I've been seeing these commercials all my life, and I right now, even if I have looked at videos up and through Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, I'm sure that is somewhere on the continent of Africa. But the point is, that's all they show us. That's all they show us. They want us to send money that the people probably ain't never got, saying that they can't grow food, that we need to send food. And I don't believe none of this shit no more. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. Correct on that. My ex-fiance and I, no problems with me being American and him being German. Didn't spend a dime. My coworker was engaged to a Russian woman and he had to come up with a ton of money. See? Those images of children were of Ethiopia, not West Africa. Why is the bad propaganda so strong, you think? I don't know. I don't care. I think, let me just tell you what I think being over here. I think the land is so rich. This is the land of milk and honey. This is the land of everything. It's just mismanaged. I think that they wanted us to look at Africa bad and think Africa was bad, so we would not want to step foot on this land. And all of my life, that's what it's been. People don't want to come over here, come to First thing your friends will say, Africa? What you going to Africa for? Why would you go to Africa? That's the first thing a lot of people's friends and family will say to them, like, why would you go to Africa? Why would you go move to a third world country? Why? They don't want us to come here and find out the truth. They don't want us to know the truth. They just want to keep on exploiting things from Ghana and taking what they can. And I can only speak on Ghana because I've never been to any other country. In Ghana, I did fly through Togo for a minute, but I didn't spend no time there at all. I remember the Biafra pictures way back when. I know as long as I have been a kid, I've heard nothing but bad things about Africa. I don't even remember people saying Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana. All they will say is Africa, as if Africa was one country. They wouldn't even break down that this, like for instance, if that was in Ethiopia, I've never heard a commercial that said we have hungry children in Ethiopia with no shoes and they need medical attention. Can you send 67 cents a day? This is only going to cost you 67 cents a day. This is in Ethiopia. Never have I heard that. It was Africa. Like Africa was one country and everybody was the same. Really, true serum. I've never been to South Africa. Like I said, I have no interest in seeing no part of Africa. I did want to visit Egypt, but that's neither here nor there. I could care less. It was the only other place I wanted to go, and like I said, I wanted to be like a quick 3-day trip and tour me around the city and get me back on the plane. That was it. So many Americans don't even know Africa is a damn continent Yes, yes, that is true. Now, how I know that is hearing people either from a distance or on TV or on social media say, you need to go back to your country. What country? Go back to Africa. Okay, what country in Africa? Shut up. But it's true. It's such a nice breeze out here. I'm finna flip this camera for a minute, y'all. Just asking, are Chinese running things in Ghana? Hold on. What's shocking is how little many Africans know about Africa. I know a Nigerian who thought South Africa was the state in southern Nigeria. What shocked me was that they think everybody in the Western world are Americans. If they think a lot of them think everybody in the Western world is from the United States of America, and I've heard that from many people. Is Chinese running things in Ghana? I don't know the depths of that, but just hearing the news, I know that Chinese are over here buying things, building big hospitals. I know that China has loaned Ghana a lot of money that Ghana cannot pay back. And if Ghana doesn't pay the money back, the Chinese will take over whatever it is and own it. I know that Ghana in 2022, because this news, I'm telling you this because this news I was listening to was in English. And this, I don't really find a lot of news stations in English. And I think Akufo-Addo, the president, was requesting so many millions from the U.S. a loan to pay off China. And the U.S. said they had already loaned Ghana money and Ghana didn't pay it back, and they not getting involved in it. They not giving up no more money. And I didn't get into it no deeper. It was just one news show, and I never heard anything else about it. Oh, they do. Like I said, one day somebody else gonna own Ghana. Who I don't know, but somebody else is gonna own Ghana. But there was one president here. Was it the last president, Latif, who said he didn't want no white people in here? You get come visit and get your ass out of here. Was that the last president? Yeah, the last president. I was in the US at the time, but he didn't want no people, white people over here buying land, buying businesses, doing nothing. He did not want white people on this land. This president we got now, I expect him to sell the whole country of Ghana one day. Like literally, if he could sell Ghana, Ghana would have been sold to whoever, to the highest bidder. I can't wait for him to get out of here. Whether I'm living on this continent or not, I cannot wait for him to get out of presidency in Ghana. It is good to travel to different places because you learn a lot. That's why I say you got a lot of people in my messages talking shit and got so much to say about I'm lying and I'm this and I'm that ain't never left their city, that ain't never been on a plane, that ain't never left off the country, but they will sit here and try to tell me about what I'm experiencing in Ghana is a lie, that I'm lying. You got Nigerians coming for me that probably ain't never been to Ghana. Meanwhile, I ain't talking shit about y'all country. What I did talk about was what I knew from the Nigerians I met. I speak and I don't really talk shit about Ghana. I'm just sharing my experience. And if it pisses you off, then it pisses you off. Maybe you're guilty of it. Most countries owe debt to other countries. Yeah, they probably do. I really don't know. I just know that Ghana does. I don't know though. Hell, I know America owe people. I know that. And I only know that from the news. Yeah, that's true, true serum. It's different. It's a difference if the US owes somebody money and Ghana. The agenda here is Ghana, this is the Chinese people and the Ghanaians. This is the Chinese. We'll build a very fancy high-tech hospital for you and you pay us back in 10 years. Well, Ghana's going to get the money to pay you back from where? So in 10 years, you own the land that the hospital owns. The Chinese owns the land and the Chinese owns the hospital. So, we're going to build this big old stadium for you. Pay us back. You don't pay them back. Guess what? China owns the land. China owns the stadium. That's what's happening over here. So that's so interesting to me because Africa was always billed as a beautiful, diverse continent. I was never taught it was one country growing up. I was taught to never trust a white man's view on us. Yeah, I wasn't taught that. I was just told about Africa as if it was one country. I didn't grow up knowing that there was different countries in Africa. As I got older, I knew there was Nigeria and Kenya and Ghana, and I think South Africa, of course. I knew about South Africa. They will come nice, but it's to own you in the future. They are playing the long game. Yeah, yeah. I had a friend in the Peace Corps in Kenya, so I always got a broad perspective. However, the poverty is real. You know what? The poverty in Ghana is not what I'm telling you. The poverty is just as real as the poverty in the US in one of the most impoverished cities or states, let's say in the South. Because I've only heard of that really, really serious poverty in like somewhere in the South. The poverty is the same in the US. You know, these people do go to work, they do make money, they do grow their own food, they do eat, like I said, I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it. There's rich people here in Ghana. For instance, like I said, everybody that lives in the village is not poor and they don't have to live there. The man that owns this land right here, and he owns many, many properties and runs a business in the city, does not live in his big fancy houses. He lives in the village because that's his culture. That's how he grew up, and he doesn't want to live like this. And he doesn't have to live in a village. I've met many people living in villages that don't have to live there. Yes, that's true. The U has welfare, free churches you can go get free food from, all of that. But I don't see the difference. My eye just doesn't see the poverty like other people see it. I think I don't my eye doesn't see that. Like I said, I've never been around one of my neighbors that was hungry. And Ghanaians don't have a problem coming to beg. Or the one thing they don't have a problem is asking you for something. But I've never seen any kids that look hungry or malnourished or going to school dirty or none of that. I've never seen it. Yeah, exactly. Just like we have street vendors, that's all the people are. They walk around with stuff on their head, except they walk all day and they're selling you something you need. They're selling water, gum, candy, corn, coconuts on the side of the road. Anything you want. The blessing is anything you want in Ghana, you can drive down the street and get it. Or when I was at my store, I was on the main street. Every day the pineapple lady came and I bought pineapple from her. The avocado lady came, the corn lady came, whatever was in season, walked right past my store. If I needed it, I would just call them down and buy what I want. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see it to be that different. Like I said, and that's just where I'm at. I'm sure somewhere in Africa it's different, but in Ghana, I don't see it. I didn't see it in Accra. I did not see it in Kumasi. I did not see it in Takrady. Tamale, and I don't see it in Elmina or Cape Coast. I do not see it. What I see is people struggling just like we do. You wake up in the middle of the night and realize your baby don't have a one pamper left and your bank account is empty. What I see here is you get up in the morning and you want to make your kids some cereal and realize you don't have no milk and you don't have enough money to get milk. That's the same in America, except you can, pick up the phone and call mama and say, "Mama, can you cash at me?" or something like that. I don't see no difference. If you could do anything different coming to the continent, what would it be? Uh, I probably the first thing I would have done first was built my house. I came here, I didn't know nothing. I didn't have anybody guiding me or leading me. And the only person I could really go to was Kohan. And I didn't do that because just like I was feeling some weird way about a Cebu, it was something about him and his wife that I just wasn't, my spirit wasn't connecting with him. And everybody goes to him for information, guidance, everything. And I just wasn't spiritually led to go to him to help me. But I would have built a house. I would have looked more into buying my land. And so I wouldn't be in this whole land issue where the store is. The second thing I would have did is probably I wouldn't have lived here. I probably would have just did a visit and went home. If I knew then what I know now, I probably wouldn't live here. I wouldn't have stayed this long. But I do enjoy the experience, and I did it. If I leave forever, I can say I did it. I visited Africa. I lived on Africa. I own land in Africa. I got to live in the village. I can say I did that. Now, Fatima, one thing that I would say that I wouldn't have done, I don't feel comfortable saying it, but what I can say is that I would have bought a house first, and I probably would not have lived here. I would have just visit, maybe left, come back when I feel like it. Just like you go home and visit people in Mississippi or Detroit or something like that. Which country do you live in Africa? I've only lived in 4 Africa countries, so I'm still learning. Um, Battle Bear, what do you mean poverty in? Oh, poverty in fuck Africa. Can I get a moderator to go ahead and block him? Please don't mute him. Go ahead and let me see if I can block him because we're not gonna accept that. That type of behavior is deserves to be blocked. So you're out of here, Balbo Bear, whatever your name is. Sherry, where are you at? True Serum, the U.S. safety nets are in dire trouble. They have not kept up with inflation and how we have widespread hunger despite food banks. Lord knows Section 8 programs have long wait lists. Yes, that's true. What about the children? What about the children, mother with children sitting on the highway to Adenta or Aburi and begging money? Please use to tell me that they were people. I don't know nothing about that, so I can't speak on that. Never seen it, don't know nothing about it. Like I said, I don't know what exists on the whole continent of Africa. I just speak on Ghana, the cities I've been in, and what I've seen. I've never seen that situation at all. I would never live in any of those countries. Okay. Muslims from the north. What about Muslims from the north? Passini, please speak in full sentences because I'm not understanding your comments. Muslims from the north. What about Muslims from the north? Fatima, that's the comment that I would have said that I would not have done. Probably would have just, you know, known the person, been friends or something like that. And my situation ain't that serious. Like there's a lot of people over here in bad situations. I mean, really bad situations that I won't even speak on. That it's just horrible. And I thank God that I'm not in a situation like that. Um, you're in Spinks. Oh, okay, okay. Have you noticed a different in treatment towards you from the Muslim community in Ghana? Um, Not necessarily. I am a Muslim, and the only thing I see different, no, they don't treat me different. They love on me, they hug on me. I mean, they're my friends, they're my neighbors. They're no. I mean, no. I haven't noticed that. What I've noticed is being a Muslim here is different. I Being a Muslim in Gambia is different. Being a Muslim in Ghana is different. Like they live being a Muslim in the Middle East is different. It's like everybody's reading a different Quran. But no, they don't treat me different. I don't know why they would. They don't question me. Like a couple people have asked me, or that was on social media, asked me why don't I always rap? I don't. I don't always rap. I rap when I'm in fasting. I rap during Ramadan, and I rap throughout the year if I'm fasting. But other than that, I don't rap myself. I come from Fresno, where it's 114-degree weather, and I wouldn't. And nowhere in the original Quran does it say that a woman must rap. What it says, it is a suggestion that it's best that a woman cover. So I don't get into that. But no, they haven't treated me different. I don't know why they would. You don't need to believe me. You can do what you idiots do and continue to talk about things that you have no knowledge about. What didn't he believe? Let me go back. Bona fide, if you're talking about me, no, I'm not a citizen. I have no interest in becoming a citizen of Ghana at all. Would you consider South Africa I just know I've said a million times, I will never, if unless God pushes me, I will never live in another country on this continent ever. Never, ever will I try another country on this continent. You welcome, Bassini. What did can somebody tell me what Sherry and True Serum is disagreeing about? I think I would not feel comfortable moving overseas without having a job based in the US or EU. What would allow me to work on the African? You don't, nobody works over here. A lot of people have remote jobs. They live off of government money. A lot of people do live off of their retirement, Social Security or SSI. I personally came here and built a store. And a lot of people live off social media money. A lot of younger and older people get really, really nice checks from social media. So yeah, I mean, I you shouldn't move here with no income, but you don't necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. To each his own. We've always had consistent internet from 2021 to 2024. We've always had consistent internet. Rarely would our internet go out. This last probably, I don't know, 3 6 months, our internet's been bad. The lights been going off on a regular basis. Like I said, over 30 days, our lights have gone off at least twice a day, every single day for over 30 days. That's unusual. You have stated that you wouldn't live in another country in Africa. I totally respect that. I'm just curious why you would be open to that. You stated you wouldn't live in another country in Africa. I totally respect that. I'm just curious why you wouldn't be open. Oh, because I've seen enough in Ghana. I've seen enough in Ghana. I've seen sisters leave Ghana. I've seen people leave Ghana by the hundreds or thousands. I've seen people leave Gambia. I have seen people leave Tanzania. I have seen people leave Kenya. They just got over to those countries and they wasn't what they thought it was. So I'm not gonna move from Ghana and go to no other country. I will leave Ghana and go home to the US or go to probably Mexico because I am at least familiar with Mexico. It's on my continent and I'm familiar with it. I have American friends who work for various government organizations here. Yeah, that's good, Sherry, but I'm not working over here. I'm not gonna work over here. Nope, won't do it. I ain't seen no American at the embassy. Only people I seen at the U.S. embassy is Ghanaians, and they're mean and nasty and refuse to let me in the embassy twice. Twice. I went to that, drove 3 hours to Accra, and they refused to let me in the embassy as a U.S. citizen. And told me, I asked, "Well, is there any Americans in there I can talk?" Nope. I said, "Oh, so there's not one American in there that you can bring to the door?" Nope. But then when you call the phone, the sergeant, they'll say, the U.S. Embassy, this is Sergeant so and so, number such and such and such. The Ghanaians don't answer the phone. Americans, when I call, they answer the phone. I was really, really sick in 2021. I ended up having malaria and typhoid fever. I was in the hospital at Capecoast 3 days. They gave me 3 bags of drips, couple breathing treatments, and 21 malaria shots. They did all they could do, and they let me know that they couldn't do anything to help me, that I had two options: to go home and get better treatment or go to Accra and to a better hospital. They did not really expect me to live. So my doctor, so I had a round trip ticket. I had a plane ticket that wasn't leaving for, let's say, 2 weeks. I don't remember, but let's make up the time, like 2 weeks. But they wanted me to leave Ghana immediately and go to the US and get treatment. So I got on the embassy's website. I read everything it said on how to get to the embassy, how to get in, what I need to have. And if you don't have an appointment, they show you reasons you can go in as an emergency. So I qualified for that reason. I had a medical emergency and I had a letter from the doctor saying that I need to leave ASAP. So we drive 3 hours to Accra. I paid the driver 400 CDs in 2021. And at that time, that was a lot of money to pay a driver. I get there, I can barely stand up. I can barely talk. I could barely talk. I didn't really recognize people. Like, it would take me a minute to say, "Oh, Melissa," or "Oh, Barbara." Like, it would take me a minute. That's how sick I was. So he tells me, "Do you have an appointment?" And I said, "No, I don't have an appointment." First, he asked me for my passport. He said, "Do you have an appointment?" I said, "No, I don't have an appointment. I have an emergency." He said, "Well, you can't come in. You need an appointment." I said, "Sir, I read the whole U.S. Embassy website, and you are allowed to come here if you have certain emergencies, and a medical emergency is one of them. And I have a medical emergency." Mind you, I wasn't talking like I'm talking now. I'm talking very slow because I didn't have energy. I was dying. I was very, very sick. Um, he said, "Well, you can't come in," and blah. He was just really nasty. I said, "Look, sir, the bottom line is, are you not going to let me in the embassy? Are you going to let me in or not?" He said, "No." I said, "Is there an American I can talk to that's working in there?" "No." So at this point, I'm so weak, I'm getting ready to lay on the ground because I can't stand up and go back and forth with him no more. So I told my husband and the taxi driver, "Come on, he's not going to let us in. Come on, let's go." What the embassy wanted me to come there for was they were going to buy me a ticket to leave immediately. She said, "Kimberly, come in. I did talk to somebody on the phone. She said, come in, oh no, that was the second time. So I get home and some Americans found out what happened. I don't know how they found out. That's how the second time I met Alita. Alita and a couple more people pulled up and said they heard what happened. The lady Monica got on the phone and called somebody in DC who called the embassy here. And that lady called me. She was in the Accra embassy. She said, Kimberly, so you mean to tell me you came to the embassy with a passport and you were denied entry? I said, yes. She said, do you know the person's name? I said, I don't know. I was very, very sick. I don't know his name, but there was about 9 cameras out there. If you look at the cameras, you'll know who he was. I said he had on black pants, a white shirt, and like a police type hat. And she said, well, here's the situation. I know you're sick. She said, what I want you to do is when you can come back to the embassy, bring everything that you're taking with you, because when you get here, we're flying you out of here ASAP. You won't go back home. When you get here, you're going to go from here to the airport. We're going to pay for your plane ticket, your taxi, and your COVID shot. At that time, you needed a COVID test. So she told me to come. I go back again. First of all, I had a plane ticket. The first thing she was going to do was call the airport and see if they would be willing to change my plane ticket. If they said no, then they'll call 3 of your relatives and see if they can help you. If they say no, then they go ahead and buy your ticket. So I go back to the embassy again. They refuse to let me in. I gave them the name of the lady, let's say Crystal. I'm here to meet a lady named Crystal. They refused to let me in the embassy twice. So eventually my plane ticket came up and I went ahead and got on the plane and went home. That was all. I didn't hear Just Vlog say that. I'm gonna have to ask her about that when I talk to her. I probably talk to her in a minute. We talk all the time, but I didn't hear her say that. I mean, I didn't know. But yeah, I ended up with typhoid fever and malaria. And because I didn't know, I mean, I know better now and how to prevent malaria and all that. But the typhoid, I knew how I got malaria. What we couldn't figure out was how I got typhoid fever. He said, Kimberly, do you drink the type of tap water? And I said, no. Do you drink the sachet water? I said, no, I only drink bottled water. At the time, my favorite water was Bell Aqua or burner water. He said, do you eat the fish? I said, no. Do you eat the roadside food? Everything he asked me that could have given me typhoid fever, I said no to. So he was baffled as to how I could have gotten typhoid fever. So, yeah, the thing was the malaria was in my body so long. My malaria numbers were very, very high, as if I had malaria for the longest. And what made me go to the hospital, I got tested for malaria March, April, May, June, July, and August. Every month I went to the pharmacy because I was sick. I was weak and wasn't feeling well. I was going to the doctors. And the pharmacy said, Kimberly, I'm concerned because I have been testing you for malaria for months. And I can see you're getting sicker, but you're not testing positive for malaria. He said, and I'm afraid of what you might have. I'm not even going to say the word. Let me call the pharmacy. He said, let me call the lab technician to come over here and take your blood. This is the pharmacy. So the lab tech comes, he takes my blood. He said, in 2 hours, you'll have your results. The pharmacy called me back and said, Kimberly, I'm so sorry. You have typhoid fever. I need you to go to the hospital. No, he came and gave me some medicine, about 9 medicines. When I got home, he called me. The pharmacist called me. He said, Kimberly, listen to me. Take every single dose of that medicine. Listen to me. Don't miss one single dose, please. I don't want you to eat no cold food. Everything you eat needs to be hot. Hot soup. I don't want you to eat anything but hot soup. Don't eat nothing cold. That man repeated himself for about 10 minutes. Kept saying the same thing over and over. I said, okay, I understand. I took my medicine. After about 5 days, I didn't feel any better. And so I ended up going to the hospital. One lady came from Africa and saw me laying on the ground. And she called another sister that I talked about on the video. And she told my husband, get her to the hospital right now. I'll meet you at the hospital. I'm finna leave one Africa and I'll meet y'all at the hospital. And that's when I found out how sick I was and all of that stuff happened. I mean, what it did, knowing that you have an embassy here, you feel like it gives you a sense of security. But going to the embassy twice and being refused to enter by a Ghanaian and they're lying, saying that there's no Americans in there, that made me very uncomfortable because now what? You believe that the embassy is a place where if you have any type of emergency, you can run to the embassy and they're going to at least let you in and hear your story. And in my situation, that wasn't the case. Like he refused to let me in the embassy. I wouldn't be shocked if he got fired. Honest to God. I wouldn't be shocked if that lady she was an American soldier. I wouldn't be shocked if she looked at the cameras and fired his ass immediately because if you look at the cameras, he was rude, he was nasty, and he was wrong. And you could see where I could barely hold myself up. How long did it take you to recover? Okay. Now, Latifah, that's a whole nother story. I'm in the airport. I can't stand up. I cannot hold myself up. There's an empty chair. My husband asked the lady at the airport, can my wife sit in this chair because she can't stand up? The lady said no. So my husband helped me to the ground so I could sit on the ground. I kind of leaned my head on the wall or something that was next to me. So the people came. My concern was the doctor didn't want me to fly alone. So he gave my husband a letter hoping that we could go in the embassy and the embassy would give him a visa to travel with me. But we never made it into the embassy for nothing. So my concern was that I was delusional. I wasn't delusional, but I wouldn't recognize people. I was thinking like, how am I gonna get up and go to the bathroom because I can barely walk? I couldn't sit up straight. I didn't want to be leaning over on the next person. So I was just concerned about flying alone. So they wheelchair me when it was time for my plane. They wheeled me on the plane. This is the God's honest truth, y'all. This is God is my witness in the name of Allah. This is the truth. I get on the plane and nothing is wrong with me. Now I'm fine. I'm able to eat my food. I'm sitting up straight, going to the bathroom. I don't feel sick. I don't feel weak. I don't feel nothing. My daughter meets me at the airport. I think I flew into San Francisco that time because I fly into Frisco, Oakland, or LA or Fresno, depending on the price of the tickets. So my daughter picks me up and she's thinking that she's picking me up and I can't walk and I'm in a wheelchair and I'm sick. So the first thing she said, Mommy, you don't look sick. I said, Nicole, I'm not. I said, it's really weird that once I got on the plane, nothing was wrong with me. I mean, I had my energy back. I was cool. Nothing was wrong with me. I go home. I get some sleep for a couple days. I rest for a couple days. My daughter comes, the same one that made the video for me. She takes me to the doctor. They do my blood work. There's no sign of malaria, typhoid fever. There's no sign of nothing in my blood work. So that's when we go into somebody had put some type of hex or something on me. That's what the locals believed happened. And they didn't tell me that until I came back to Ghana. Hello, Kimberly. New subby here. I'm going to email you. You have to check out the Afridimus report in Ghana now. Regretting welcoming the Black Obroni is disgusting and he is targeting. Okay. Send me an email. Send me an email. I don't know if they fired him or not. They probably did. That was something to be immediately fired for. You are in Ghana working for the US Embassy, and I just watched on camera that this lady looked like she was dying, and you refused to let her in. Not only did you refuse to let her in, you refused to hear her story, and you refused to let her complete a sentence. Not only did you refuse to let her complete a sentence, she asked you, is there an American citizen in here, an American soldier or citizen that I can talk to? You told her no. I would have fired his ass immediately. Because this is Ghana. There's 200, 300 people that can take his job immediately, right away. She said no. She told my husband no. I'm telling you, the ladies here are real nasty. So he just helped me sit on the floor. That was all. He had nothing else to do. I couldn't stand up. Yeah, when I got back to Ghana, people started saying, Miss, Hajia, I didn't want to tell you this, but the whole time you were sick, we think that, like somebody did something to you. They were comfortable one by one kind of telling me what they thought. And so I said, why would somebody want to do that to me? Like, why? He said, they said, Kimberly, it could be because of this land. Like, this land's been empty for 20 years. And out of nowhere, you popped up on this land. Nobody has ever gotten this land. I said, but they could have. Like, it's not like people can't get the land. They said it could be just a person that's jealous of you. They didn't know what it was about. It could have even been the fact that I didn't bless the land. Like, we didn't kill a goat I didn't know nothing about that. The people around me building the land is from Ghana should have knew that, but nobody told me. Not even if it's true, but one man said that before you build on land, you have to um bless the land and sacrifice a goat or a cow or something like that, or a chicken or something before you start building. I heard a lot of stories. Some made sense and some didn't. And I remember saying to one guy, I said, y'all keep talking like the ancestors are around me and they're protecting me and the universe and God is protecting me. But more than anything, y'all speak about the ancestors protecting me. I said, why did the ancestors allow somebody to pass them and get to me and hurt me to kill me? He said, Hajia, they wanted to kill you, but it's your ancestors that did not allow it. Now, what you don't know is what your ancestors did to them or is going to do to them. And I just kind of, we just didn't get deep into that. I guess I really don't know, Passini, what it was about. Yeah, they should have fired him. He should have got fired and fucking went to jail. I don't care if it's for 30 days. You should have got fired and you should have been severely punished. You denied me the right to enter a safe place that's there for me. You denied me the right to enter a safe place. Fucking dare you. Yeah, but I don't care about their ancestors, True. I'm sure people got, like I didn't even know you could call the Grim Reaper on people until I was grown. But from my understanding, you can summon the Grim Reaper, but the Grim Reaper doesn't just go kill anybody. He investigates the story you tell, and if the story doesn't add up right, he won't go to that person. Now, I've heard that. Um, yeah, everybody has ancestors, and I don't picture ancestors as mean, evil people. So if that person has ancestors that was mean enough to let them do some shit like that, I just pray to God I don't know them and they stay the fuck away from me because I don't need to be around them type of people. Now the person that they thought did it, it made sense to me, and it makes sense to me to this day, which I've never mentioned the person's name and probably never will. I used to talk to the Ghanaian and Nigerians were exaggerating when they talked about people poisoning people over simple things. Oh no, it's true. It is very, very true, Sherry. It's true. Check out the AA, the Americans unalive in Gambia. You seem to be an outsider and everything. Oh, I know about what happened to them. I knew about that when it happened. You seem you you are seen as an outsider, and everything about Africa is based on customs and traditions. Africans are very superstitious, and African told me this. Oh yeah, they've told me. Like I said, that was 2021. I was new here. I hadn't been here 6 months. I've learned a lot since then. I know a lot. You know, I've learned a lot more. I've been here over 3 years now, so I do know a lot more. I'm not as naive as I was then. You know, the honeymoon phase is over, and I don't fall for the okey doke no more. My husband, other than the store, my husband don't even give people access to me. Like, we don't have the type of house, never, no house we've ever lived in did we have the type of house where people can just walk up and they're welcome and they come in our house and blah blah blah. No, no, my husband don't do that, and neither do I. I left Islam because I was told I couldn't worship Allah and my ancestors. Letitia, that's a whole nother video that I've been saying I was gonna make a video about that since probably the week before Ramadan. I made a really big decision for myself. I just haven't really, it's like I haven't been allowed to make it yet. Spiritually, I'm not ready to make the video yet. I'm not ready to make that announcement yet. I'm not ready to put it into the universe, even though God knows my heart and he knows my decision and what I'm going to say. But I fully understand. And that's to Latasha. I understand. I get it. And when you see my video, when I do make it, you'll know why I understand. Kimberly, you know, Ghana is political. Most of those people who work in the embassy know people who know people. That's why he wasn't sacked. Yeah, I don't know that, Sherry. I didn't know anything about Ghana. I had only been here 6 months. All I know is this. That is a U.S. I don't even care if he wasn't fired. The fact that he refused to let me into that embassy, it wasn't one person. That was the first person. I go back a second time and give them the name of the lady that told me to come. And I see a whole different person who wouldn't let me in. I have an I have a Ghanaian friend who swears that Ghanaians don't want Americans there. The primary reason bring the crowds and increase the price. It's true. I believe that. I believe it. True, Sam. I believe it. Every part of it. A lady in Cape Coast, Ghana, 3 days ago. I'm not gonna go back over it, but you can look up woman killed in Cape Coast, Ghana, and the story is there, and more of the story is coming out. Like they're now that they're investigating, more of the truth is coming out, and it's making more sense. This video finna be 2 hours long. Ain't nobody gonna sit on my YouTube and watch this and watch this 2 hour video, but it don't matter. I'm gonna post it anyway. If somebody's sitting up at night bored, they might just sit and get into the topic. Oh, Ghanaians don't benefit from nothing here. The government is so messed up here. That's why I said I was trying to stay here to see what the new government is going to do. But I just don't think I can stay here that long. I think I'm going to get me and my husband a visa to Mexico and get the hell out of here for a few months or probably forever. I don't know. But I do plan on going probably to Mexico for rent a house for probably 2 or 3 months and just kind of not even 3 months, just maybe 2 months to see how I like it there, how I can adjust and adapt and blah, 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 and feel comfortable being closer to home. Oh, thank you, Pray. Thank you, Pray, Travel, Eat. That was kind of going to be the name a long time ago. I was going to name my YouTube channel Eat, something like Eat, Travel, and Pray, or something kind of similar to your name. I like that name. But the Passport Traveler made sense at the time. Now it doesn't make sense because I'm not really traveling with a passport. I'm just went to one country. I'm just going back and forth to the same two countries with a passport. I'm going from the US here, from the US to um, Ghana, from Ghana to the US. And when I go to Mexico, I don't even need my passport. So I don't never even pull it out. I mean, Mexico don't even, well, crossing the land border, Mexico don't even ask for the passport. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And I just tell them, look, I don't have it. Here's my name and whatever. There are middle class and wealthy Ghanaians who are benefiting from the influx. They probably are, Like I said, I don't get into people's lives. I don't get into their government. I don't, I don't know a lot of people, ask a lot of questions. Even the landowners that I know, I have asked them because Ghanaians won't tell you shit. They're very private people. But I have asked, homeowners and, like my landlords, little questions about like how to buy land or just simple things. But I don't get into their personal business. I don't ask personal questions. I don't get into politics really with them because I don't know enough about their government to care about it. Even same thing with our government. You don't know the truth, so who cares? You ain't gonna never really know the truth till they start telling on each other. You don't know the truth till people get mad and start telling on each other. I have never sat on a jury because one, I'm not a judge. I'm not trained to do that. And I know in a jury trial, you hear two stories. Whoever presents the best case is who wins. And the truth don't never really win. It's whoever presents the best case. The your lawyer or the what do you call them people, the DA or whatever. I have never sat on jury. I always make up an excuse. I'm sick. I got just had surgery, whatever, anything. I'm not gonna sit in the courtroom and judge nobody's life or make no decision on a story that I heard two lawyers talk about. No, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm not going to traumatize myself by sitting up looking at 20 by 14 size pictures of dead bodies and that type of stuff. I'm just not going to do it. I was in Mexico in October. I go every other year. Couldn't live there, but I love South and Central America. What part of Mexico were you in? Why did you leave Mexico? I always thought Mexico and Latin America in general is very racist and prey. Really? I really because I never experienced that. I've only been to Tijuana, Ensenada, and Rosarito, and I just never experienced any racism. I never experienced that. I never experienced them charging me more money for anything or nothing like that. Thank you, Tori Jordan. You too. I spent 6 months in South America and they loved African Americans. They understand our history because of apartheid. It's much like the US and they have scheduled load shedding. What's load shedding? Oh, South Africa. I thought you said South America. They overcharge in Mexico like Ghana. I've never experienced that. Like I said, Tijuana, Ensenada, and Rosarito, I never experienced them overcharging me. Pretty much when you go into the stores, there's a price on their stuff. So there's no overcharging. There you pick up something and the price is on it. So I've never experienced that. Wow, I can see that the English speaking Caribbean is better. Costa Maya, I met my family in the US. Load shedding is scheduled lights out. Oh, okay. The only thing I experienced in Tijuana in the state of Baja California, the only thing I experienced was the longest I stayed was 3 months. And I experienced their water. I never experienced their lights going out, but their water would go off. And I think the water went off like once a month. but it would be off like all day. Maybe one time it was off for 4 hours, but that's the only thing I experienced in Mexico as far as water and lights going off. Everybody should show prices. Now, I do like to go in stores here. There's a store here that I go to, and this lady has prices on everything. And I like that because the price is already there for a Ghanaian or an American. It doesn't matter. I used to live in California and Texas, so I've been all over Mexico. We don't do Cancun though. I've never been to Cancun. I don't even think I would be interested in going there. It seems to me more like a tourist place, and I don't really like tourist cities like that. Like even when I go to Vegas, I go just to visit my friend or my cousin. I don't go there for the tourist sites and to hang out and party and do none of that. There was a slot machine that I would like to go to, and I would sit there. It was called, I don't know the name of it, but it was these bumblebees, and I don't know the name of that game. And you put your coins in, and if you hit a certain like if you hit a certain number of points, these bees come out flying and talking, and they're happy, and they start giving you like 27 free spins and more money. And I just fell in love. It looked like a game a little kid would play. So every now and then when I go to Vegas, I would have my friend take me to that casino just to play that game, and then I leave. Why is it so expensive to fly between African countries? Don't know the answer to that either. I don't know. I know the last time I looked from here to Egypt, round trip was 500, and I thought that was cheap to the point where I had to go back and look again, and I'm going to look again and again. Except I really don't care about it now. I don't really want to go to Egypt now, but I thought the price was so cheap that I was gonna go look a third time and make sure. Because I'm usually looking at plane tickets in the middle of the night, and I'm thought, Kim, you must have been sleepy. There's no way this is a round trip ticket on Emirates. On top of that, on Emirates Airlines for $500 round trip. That's just impossible. Traveling is expensive between African countries because that's how the colonizers set it up. Yeah, but the colonizers don't run everything over here, if anything. So I really don't know about that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why it's expensive to travel. I haven't traveled from here to another country in Africa yet. They have power outages, internet, water, etc. We weren't supposed to move until April 30th, but due to all the outages, we left last week talking about Mexico. Okay. To fly from Sierra Leone to Cameroon was 860. Oh, oh, okay, Royal. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm glad I'm not traveling nowhere. Not here in Africa. When I get on the plane, I'm leaving out of here. Now, what I can say is I've been to Ghana about five times, and you get on the when I'm coming back from the U.S. to Ghana, the whole damn plane is black people. Like everybody on the plane is black, literally. And and what's crazy is I traveled during Ramadan 3 different years. I was on the plane coming back during Ramadan, and each time I was the only Muslim on the plane. Well, I was the only person on the plane with a hijab on. But one time I saw a white man on the plane and he was sitting next to me, but I had never seen anybody on them planes but black people. And I just thought that was amazing to me that It's a plane full of black people going to Africa. Mexico is acknowledged that they have a black population. Only a few years ago, Mexico just acknowledged that they have a black population. Well, I don't know if they announced it, but I know they have a black population because I've spent a lot of time over there. So I know they have it. What time is it now where you are? It is 2:55 p.m. here. It's 2:55 in the afternoon. And right about I am been on 1 hour, 72 minutes. Wow. An hour and 72 minutes. 1 hour and 72 minutes. Hold on. I know I'm not crazy. Shouldn't it be already saying 2 hours and something? I ain't even gonna question this right now, y'all. What time is it? Okay. Do you have enough funds to start a new life back home? To answer your question, I won't answer questions about funds, but if I want to go back home right now, I can with no problem whatsoever. I'm not going to start a new life anywhere. If I go back home, I'm going back home. That's it. I'm going back home and continue whatever I was doing back home. I'm not going to go there and start a new life. Why would I do that? I don't even know what new life I would start. I'm not going to go there and get a job. I'm going to go home, sit down and just be at home. Now, if I go to Mexico, I'm going to make sure I have enough funds to get myself started in Mexico. But going back to the US where I came from, no, that's home. I don't need to start nothing. I mean, I don't need to have enough funds for anything. Why is this unless this power bank is okay, there we go. Oh, you mean they just counted black people in the census? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Okay, that's good information. Like, I don't know. Okay. That's interesting. I had no idea. Thank you, sweetie. I need a break. I do need to come home and rest. Thank you, Latasha. I appreciate that. What do you think about Belize in Honduras? I don't know anything about Belize. What I know about Honduras is just bad things, so I have no interest in going there. And I I'm telling you, I don't know anything. I've just heard bad things about people. Every Black American I know that went to Honduras left. And then, of course, I watched the whole Nature Boy shit and what they went through over there. I do know a couple of white people over there that I follow. Well, I don't follow them anymore, but I still randomly see their pages, and they've been living in Honduras for years and love it from America, from the United States. I know Mexico is having a really bad trouble with the art cartel. Well, I would not. I know for a fact that it's like that in Tijuana, which is what stopped me from going to Tijuana. Is the violence just got too bad? It was just too much for me. The only reason I was comfortable going to Tijuana is because my son had been living there. He lived over there for 8 years. Him, his wife, and his 4 kids. He has 4 boys, and he lived right by the Otay border, so we could literally walk to the Otay border. We did drive over there, but there was times I would take the train to San Diego, and he would pick me up. But you could literally walk to the Otay border, and so, but once, what in the heck is that? Oh, that's the little boy. Once he moved deep into, he didn't. His wife moved deep into Mexico. They separated for the first time after years. She moved deep into Mexico. But I've never seen that house and will probably never see it. But that was the only reason I was comfortable. But then I started going over there, and my son was telling me that there was some little boys that would come to his house, like 8, 9, 10 years old. And after 8 years, they grew into 12 and 13 and 14. But he was telling me one day that he said, "Mom, remember the boy that used to come here and we would give them sandwiches through the fence because they would go there to eat, which a lot of people went there to eat." I said, "Yeah." He said they found his head. They found his head in a bag over by the border, and I was like, "What?" Well, eventually they found 3 of the boys' heads. They probably. And I asked my husband, not my husband, my son, why. He said they probably had gotten into drugs. And most kids grow up and they get into drugs. They get into the drugs, and the cartel or some drug dealer kills them. Thank you, Truth Serum. I love both countries, especially the Garifuna West Africans expelled from St. Vincent culture. Okay, I don't know about them. I don't have to. Oh, I hate I don't have a pencil. Let me screenshot this. I think I'm gonna look into that. Trying to screenshot what Sherry just said, even though I might forget to even do it. I got so many screenshots of stuff I want to look up in Google and forget about it. Okay, Bonafide baby. See you later. I'm finna get off of here because this video is way too long. So, Miss Kim, are you leaving Ghana? Yes. I mean, I leave every 6 months. Like I said, I chose to be here for 1 year. So I'm either gonna go get a break. I'm kind of trying to just take my time and think things through. And I don't have an answer yet, but I kind of, yeah, I'm kind of over the whole African experience. Really, I am. But like I said, I don't want to think with emotions. I want to take my time and think things through and figure things out because the country is beautiful. And I did want to stay here to see what the new president will do. But I can go home or to Mexico and just hear about what he's doing. And if things change, come back. Police has a reputation for crime also, but that's what the media says. You have to check it out for yourself because if they lie, I know because I moved to Jamaica and loved it. Yeah, I'm not gonna check out Honduras. I heard enough about it to whether it's true or not. I don't want to find out. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate. I love the questions. I love to get conversations going. And I will see you guys soon. If I come back on again, it's because I thought of something to talk about, or sometimes I get bored and I get on TikTok or YouTube and y'all keep me company. So um, I'll get a Mexico. For Mexico, I'll get us both a visa to go over there. I have to get on the phone and do some research and find out what are the requirements to enter Mexico. There is a girl I know that's living in the city I want to go to. She moved from Ghana to Mexico, and so she knows what it takes to get in there and what you have to have. So I'm going to talk to her. That's the place, Meridia. Oh my goodness. Pray, eat, pray, travel, eat. Okay, there's a lot of Black people in Merida, Yucatan, Mexico. And again, it's the safest city in Mexico. She told me that they have almost a 0% crime rate. And she took her husband from Ghana and moved him to Mexico. And she has her. I can tell her story because it's on YouTube. He ended up letting her know he didn't love her. He only wanted her for a visa. Basically, he went his way. She let him go his way. He started struggling in Mexico. Called her, and I think she sent him some money or something. Never let him back in her house. He ended up back in Ghana. stole her land and her houses and everything. She's on her way back here. She's coming back in June. And I asked her, was she coming back to her house? And she said, oh no, my husband stole all my land. And I just said, oh, she was on my TikTok live talking about it. But yeah, that's the city that I'm planning on going to. I gotta find out the qualifications. Like, do I have to have a certain income, shots, and blah blah blah. I don't know if I can get a visa upon arrival. I know my husband probably has to have a visa ahead of time, but I want to see if I can get a visa upon arrival, or do I have to have a visa before I get there. But yeah, Merida, Yucatan is probably what it is. That's exactly the place where I'm planning to go. And that comment is interesting. I won't say it's confirmation, but it kind of makes me feel like confirmation that it's okay to go there. But when I looked it up, it kind of reminds me of a historical, it reminds me of Italy or something like that. It just didn't look like, I'm gonna look more into it. It just didn't look like a city I would feel comfortable in. It looks like I said, like Italy or something. But I was looking at probably the pictures that they show you when you want to come and be a tourist. I see some real live street pictures. So I'm probably gonna look that city up on YouTube and see people making videos that really live in the city. Yes, true serum. You know who I'm talking about. But you know what? People were, I have never, ever, ever, this video gonna be long as hell. I have never, ever put my mouth on her relationship ever. People would say things and I could see it, but um she even said on the video, she said, y'all was telling me the whole time that he didn't want me. He was using me for a visa. She said she really couldn't see it until she went to his father. She went to his father. I don't remember why she went to the father, but the father told her that the only reason I gave my son to you was so he could get to America. And she's a strong person, but you could see as she's telling her story that you could see the pain in her face and her eyes as she was telling the story. And yeah, that's the person I'm talking about, K and K. And she said, y'all have been telling me and telling me and telling me, and she just didn't see it. She just didn't see it. She told the story about how she would buy him clothes and regular things, and all of a sudden he got to Mexico and act like he was too good to wear this shirt and these type of shoes. He needed, if I got the story right, like he started getting more extravagant and like he was too good to wear the shirts that he had been wearing, and he was too good to wear the shoes that she had been buying him, and it just didn't work out. But she moved on and continued on with her life, and she's doing well, and he's probably back in Ghana fucked up. He's back in Ghana, and he's probably getting laughed at because how dare you get a blessing like that and mistreat it? Like, how dare you get a blessing like that and mistreat it? It don't sit right with me. Honduras, I believe, has a population of black people and mestizo people from Latin countries. Belize has a good reputation from black people, though. I don't even know where Belize is. Now I'm gonna have to Google Belize because one of my sisters, when I say sisters, they're people that I met that I call sisters. Because I told you my mom and daddy was selfish or God was selfish. I don't know who was selfish. They didn't give me a sister. They just gave my brothers a sister, and I'm the sister. So one of my sisters went to Belize, and I know people that live over there, but I've never looked into Belize. I'm not a traveler. I'm not a traveler. I just came to a country, fell in love, and stayed. I'm not a person that likes to travel. I won't be in Belize 1 week. Jamaica. I've never wanted to go to Jamaica, Bahamas, London, Paris, France, Italy. Nowhere. I was always a true to heart, loyal U.S. baby. That was my home. I didn't care about going nowhere else. I went to Mexico only because my son went there, and we went to go with him to look for his first apartment. And I went to Canada because I grew up in Detroit, and my granddaddy used to go to Canada every weekend to buy his liquor and cigarettes because it was cheaper. And we would ride around Canada with my granddaddy. And then I remember every time we crossed the border, some people would stop us. I didn't know they were border patrol. People would stop my granddaddy and say, "Do you have anything to declare?" He would say, "No." And so the man would say, "Well, what were you doing in Canada?" And he said, "Oh, just riding around, showing my grandkids around." They wouldn't pop the trunk or nothing. They would say, "Okay," and pass through. Meanwhile, my granddaddy got a trunk full of liquor and cigarettes because, and I always wondered, like, why won't he just buy this stuff in Detroit? But I didn't know our money was worth more in Canada, and Canada's things were cheaper and didn't have taxes at the time. So that's why my granddaddy would drive over there and get his little liquor and cigarettes. I have been to all those places. I was actually going to open a store in Bridgetown, Barbados, before I moved to Tanzania. I've been in Ghana for 3 years and love it here. I'm glad you love it here, Sherry. I was in love with Ghana until I did this whole year here, and I just started to see things a little different. A little different. Like I tell people, I've been here over 3 years. I love Ghana. It's just my eye doesn't see. I was allowed to, being here for a year, I was allowed to see too much. And I asked God right after Ramadan, during Ramadan, the other night, I asked God to please let my eyes see Ghana like I used to see it, unless it's you that wants me out of here. Like, I just loved being in Ghana, and I hate that I don't have that same passion for Ghana like I used to. Like, it really bothers me because my intention was to never go live in the US, to just go visit. My intention was to die in Ghana, be buried the same damn day I die, wrap me, oil me, put me in the ground, leave me alone, you know. So it disturbs me that I don't have that same love and passion for Ghana that I had. And I just don't like it. So I did ask God to just let my eyes see Ghana like I used to see it. I'm happy that you settled in Ghana. Congratulations, Sherry. Yeah, congratulations. I haven't actually been to Grenada, but one of my closest friends is from there. She moved back home for a few years. I'm going to visit her soon. This message is held for review. Let's see what this person is saying. I'm stroking my shit. Big baller, you're out of here. My moderators must have left. Let me go ahead and block you. You will not get muted or timed out. You will be blocked. You can stroke your shit by yourself now, because we ain't finna sit here and deal with you stroking your shit. We ain't finna ask your ass, are you using lotion or Vaseline or spit? What that cooking oil? Like, what do you want us to know you stroking your shit for? You just stupid as hell. Oh, I don't know if I could say that word. I'm sorry, YouTube. Kimberly, I've been here for 3 years. I have had very soft landing. It isn't utopia, but it's truly my little piece. Sherry, it was my peace. It was my freedom. It was my love. I love the people. They accepted me so well in Ghana and in the village. Like, they treated me like a queen. I had never been treated like that before. And somewhere along the way of this 1 year that I did here, things just changed. And I can't put my finger on what changed, but I know it started when we started farming. When we closed the store and started full-time farming, and people started stealing our crops and stealing our goats and stealing our chickens, and we didn't know who was who and who was stealing from us. It kind of started there. And I just never, and it continued until we ended up giving the rest of the animals taking them to my Muslim brother's land. And I remember being very uncomfortable on the land after that. And I moved into a hotel. And from the hotel, I moved here. And that's just kind of where it started, where things started to look different to me. And but like I said, I pray to God that God opens my eyes to see Ghana different, because I really don't want to leave. But at this point, Like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm really out of here. But that's why I said I'm taking my time to listen to God, listen to the universe, pay attention. And then I know, like I said, this new moon is run by Scorpio and Taurus, which is a big thing. It's going to bring a lot of high emotions, it's going to bring forth a lot of challenges. And I don't know what challenges it's going to bring me, but I'm hoping the only challenge is deciding whether I'm staying or going. I'm not up for no damn challenges. I study the moons, like I said, because I want to know what type of energy each moon is bringing. So I will know why my emotions are a certain way, or why my husband may be behaving a certain way, or the people around me. And I didn't look too deep into the moon, but I know that much about it. Keep it moving. I love Jamaica. It's my second home. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and in at Kimberly. God has opened your eyes. That may be something in Mexico that you and your husband need to experience. True. But one, my grandkids are there. I have 4 grandsons there. My son died in Mexico. He died in Tijuana. I told this story. He died in his living room in front of his 4 boys, and they left his body there for 6 hours with the 4 boys. I don't know the whole story of what happened because I know he woke up and couldn't breathe. Nobody spoke English but the kids, and they were all under 12. And I couldn't bring myself to ask the kids what happened to your dad because their dad was laying in their floor dead. The baby did tell me that he woke up and couldn't breathe. Some white stuff was coming out of his mouth. He just didn't know the word foam. He said, I stuck him with the pen. The pen broke, which he meant the EpiPen. But I didn't go into details because I couldn't bring myself to ask them to go into details. The mother didn't speak English. The in-laws didn't speak English. The neighbors didn't speak English. The damn morgue didn't speak English. The funeral home didn't speak English when he got to a funeral. Nobody spoke English. So, yeah, it's okay. And then I found out that the reason he decomposed on the morgue floor. The sister went to the morgue to see him, and she said, she said, I took pictures of your son. I will never, ever send you these pictures, but I'm going to take them to the embassy because I don't like how they did his body. But as I looked into it, he was in a pile of dead bodies on the morgue floor because the place only had so many refrigerators. He wasn't the only person. He wasn't on the floor because he was black or American or none of that. He was in a pile of dead bodies. Because they had no more refrigerator space. So, whew. Hold on, let me calm down, y'all. So anyway, then he had to be cremated. So I'm finding somebody to speak Spanish to the funeral home because the funeral home don't speak Spanish. The sister that's there and the wife don't speak. I mean, they don't speak English. The man's telling me that the lady's saying that they don't accept insurance. They don't accept life insurance, that I have to send cash. So I send the cash. I sent part of the cash because MoneyGram wouldn't let me send the full amount. They only let me send 1,000. So I sent the first 1,000. When I tried to send a second 1,000, the girl said they won't let me pick it up. I called MoneyGram. MoneyGram said that they permanently closed my account for fraud because it's a long story, but the bottom line is they closed my account for fraud. I'm like, no, sir, please, I got to get this money to this girl because it's for my son's funeral and blah, blah, blah. So now the health department is involved because they're giving me 24 hours to get this man cremated or they're going to throw him into a common grave. And I'm like, I know what a common grave sounds like, but I'm asking, what is a common grave? It's a big hole. They just throw everybody unclaimed or unwhatever in the same grave. So I end up, I don't know to this day how I got her the other part of the money. I must have went to Western Union. I cannot remember for the life of me, but I got her the rest of the money. They did get him cremated before the health department. I told the man to tell the lady, please let them know I'm sending the money. Don't throw my son into a common grave. He has family. And so, we made it in time. He was able to have a funeral, which we didn't get to go to. That's a whole nother story. And she still has his ashes. And my grandson will call me. My grandson will call me and say, "Grandma, I'm washing my dad's face." And I said, "What you mean you washing your dad's face?" She said, "Oh, well, he said I wash his face every morning." So he showed me the picture that they have of my son over the ashes and some flowers, and they got the Mother Mary there, the Lady Guadalupe. I don't know which one she is, but when he turned the picture of him washing his dad's face, is he cleans the picture frame every morning. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's nice that you wash your dad's face every morning. That is why I told my family when I came. Let me turn this camera so I can smoke. That is why I told my family, um, wherever I die, leave me. Don't try to get me across borders and none of that, because what they wanted was too much. They wanted a copy of his passport, birth certificate, driver's license, translated into English. I have no way to get this stuff right away. It was just a lot. Like I said, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that was 2000. Y'all know sometimes I can't even remember the day. It's like I just blacked that out. It was 2019, July 12th, I believe, 2019. I don't really think much about it. I don't celebrate his death year. I don't let balloons go every year. I don't do none of that. I don't relive that pain every year like people do. Every year they, you know, release balloons or go to the cemetery or have a party. I don't do none of that. So we are the clear people are from so yeah. So like I said, we ended up getting his insurance because he had life insurance, but we had to pay the funeral home cash. um so one of the people that was his friends went over there, and she crossed the border every day like my son did. She said Mexico does take life insurance, but that funeral home that she chose doesn't take life insurance. So I was like, well, she's controlling everything. She chose to take over, and so if that's where he's at, let's just get him cremated before they throw him into some random hole. And that's it. Mexico didn't really put you through it because when it comes to document, it is, and then you have to pay. Now, mind you, you have to pay to get everything translated and typed up into English. We got to run around Mexico not knowing where we at and figure out how to do this stuff. You then have to get permission from the district attorney to before they can release the body to cross back to the board, cross it in America. You got to pay the district attorney. That takes up to 5 days. And then you have to find somebody in the US that will cross the border and go get the body, which that was the cheapest thing. That was not, that was $800 if it was a weekday and 900 if it was a weekend or something like that for San Diego to go get him and bring him back across. It's a lot. My family knows, my husband knows. I'm glad I'm in Ghana. That's why I said it's another thing I need to look up in Mexico is if I die as a Muslim in Mexico, is y'all gonna get my ass in the ground the same day? I don't want nobody shipping me nowhere, holding my body in the refrigerator. One thing about Ghana is they do not do that as Muslims. If you pass away before noon, by noon, your ass is wrapped, oiled, and in the ground. If you pass away afternoon, by sundown, you're in the ground. That's it. That's all. Ain't no hoopla, ain't no nothing. Mexico will sometimes reject papers that are folded. It's crazy. And it's crazy that when you go to, that's funny you said that because I don't know where I was at one time. I'm almost sure I was in the US at some courthouse or something, and somebody rejected my paper because it was folded. And I thought that was the pettiest shit I had ever seen. Like, it's folded. I just don't remember. I don't remember where it was. You know a lot about St. Bess, Jamaica. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's my story. I'm glad y'all kept me company. This was interesting. We went from one conversation to another, and I enjoyed that. We only had about 4 trolls on here. Uh, 2 of them stayed. They got timed out, and I blocked 2 of them because they was just ridiculous. So I love you all, and stay blessed. And I'm gonna have my husband warm this coffee up and go sit next to him. Just go curl up next to him and watch TV. Probably not really, because Latif likes to sit in the living room. The only house in here with no air conditioner is the living room and the kitchen. Latif likes to sit out here where the fan is at and it's hot and shit. And I like to be in the bedroom with the air conditioning. And so we don't always be in the same room because Latif don't like to be cold and I don't like to be hot. But I do, like, now it's a nice breeze. I can go in there and curl up next to my husband and watch TV, and we'll start talking about something. And then I'll end up going in the room and I'll connect my phone to connect my TV to YouTube and start studying YouTube. I just study YouTube all day to make sure I don't make no mistakes and I know all they damn rules and stuff. I am an honorary Jamaican. Okay, TT, I didn't know you was still here. Girl, I done held you in here that long. Damn it, I gotta go. I can't be having my moderators in here for too long. I love you all. Stay blessed, and I will see you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.